Turn it off.
Hello, and welcome to Zaxria. We are back for another night at the Not So Round Table. Thank you for tuning in, and if you are, make sure you're following, so you get put in the giveaway once we reach 100 followers. We're like 3/4 of the way there, so tell your friends, tell your wives, tell everyone out there. Also, if you're subscribing at that point, you get a put in for a giveaway for a custom mini from Hero Forge. And then the giveaway itself is once we reach that 100, whatever the most recent D&D book that came out is, you will get one sent to you. So make sure you're doing that. And then to thank our most recent follower, LOL Bailey. Thank you. We appreciate it. Also check out our YouTube. There are VODs and podcasts on there pertaining to this campaign and just other D&D stuff, along with other random RPG games, so be sure to look at that. I think that is all we have. So, last we had left off, you guys made your way to Zaxria, which is a city within the first layer of Hell of Avernus, in order to start taking some sort of action for the culling that is coming to Zaxria. The culling being a eradication level type event, similar to something that has happened in the past in Zaxrian history, where demons had come and just laid waste essentially to Zaxria, trying to kill everything in sight and just make it some sort of hellish landscape. But your efforts right now are to attempt and try and lessen whatever blow is being dealt by going to the hells and destroying any beacons that you possibly can to as high of a layer as you possibly can get to. Which brings you where you are now in this first layer. You did some traveling around and also some standing about, which you saw drew a lot of suspicion to you. It seemed everybody here has some sort of a purpose or agenda as to what they are here for. And you had a couple of run-ins with some things in some sort of a kind of hellish brothel type establishment with a succubus, where you were kind of fleeing from there, from these winged creatures flying down, swooping at you and taking chomps at you. You fled over to an inn where you stood inside, found some information out in regards to the pit here, which seems to be the main attraction of the entire lair. The pits of Zaxria are kind of like these death pits run by the pitmaster here, who, if you are to win, you are granted some sort of favor or wish. The extent of that or full abilities of it you're unsure of, but you believe it to be your best route to proceeding further into whatever it is you're attempting to do or wherever you're attempting to go to. So the first 2 rounds that had occurred, you guys handled pretty well. You fought some blood demons and then a Nikoloth, both having different abilities, and you were able to make your way through. Ander did fall unconscious in one of the fights, nearly dying, but was able to get revived by Shalonia. Then, after you guys rested and came out, or actually you didn't actually get an intermission after your last fight, you kind of just went right into this kind of championship round, if you would. You could hear the pitmaster, along with all of the denizens of the pit here, screaming and shouting out chants. Much of it is just kind of like this garbled grunting and growling and roars. But this champion was introduced, kind of this glorious introduction for him. And then the ground itself kind of had a little bit of a rumble to it. And even though this creature is not enormously tall and like large, he just looks dense and very solid in his form. He started barreling out towards you. You could see this large, hulking figure, still probably like a good 12 or so feet at least, and kind of barreled over this kind of maroonish plate, steel-looking armor, pretty much all over every part of his body except like a little bit on the sides that you may be able to see, and then having these claw-like weapons in each hand, and then the tusks themselves have these kind of barding to them that has these metal spikes coming off. Lets out this just gruesome, loud roar where you can see spit flying from the mouth. The teeth aren't like serrated or anything or sharp. They're just like these flat, almost, I don't know what to kind of equate them to. Yeah, almost like cow. They're all just like molar type teeth. None of them seem to be like canines or sharp. They're just like a huge row and set of them. But there still seems to be a degree of like blood around the face, and the tongue itself is very, very wide inside of the mouth. You can see the eyes are just sitting beneath some sort of a metallic helmet that he has on, and the eyes themselves are just like this dark black hollow void. starts barreling out towards you, screaming as loud as he possibly can, and the first person that takes contact, like eye contact with his Zarvarax, is just like barreling towards you, and he doesn't even hesitate, just screams right back at him and gets ready to go into the fight. So if all of you could, please roll initiative.
Yeah, I rolled initiative last time. It was pretty good.
Connor and Skip, the two of you up in the stands, you've heard the conversation that I kind of brought up to you.
Over these days?
It was that large kind of like pig gorilla-like creature that had like the wings on its back that was kind of mouthing off before and continues to just like keep talking throughout the fights.
Billy, would you zoom that in like 1 or 2?
Oh yeah. Oh, let's see.
That should be pretty good.
More.
We can
That's
do
good.
like
More.
That's fine.
Probably do that instead of moving the camera. That's probably good. Cool. Let's see if I can turn the brightness up on the lights above. Okay.
Rip.
25 to 20
21.
natural 20.
for a total of, add your dex.
21.
21,
22?
22. Okay. So, Moldrak.
I take alert. Get all excited about alert, and then I roll
Azrael?
like a 2,
That's
4,
your
and a
dex is
fucking
higher.
8.
And Trelawney. 20 to 15.
19.
Sorry, what'd you get?
13.
Below 20? It's weird, right? I only need to roll 9.
Okay, Moldrak, you are up first. This creature just comes barreling out, screaming. You can see the ground is like shaking around it. Even the earth beneath it is like it's cracking off with these large round toe like feet that it has, like almost like elephant feet that are just stomping onto the ground. It's cracking like rocks behind it as it's trampling forward.
You said he has like these, these claw type things?
Yep.
Okay. I don't think he's gonna change his plan of action. So I'm gonna go, oh, but I guess if Zarvarax goes first, he might go forward. What did you give for initiative?
Low.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go stand next to Zarvarax,
Okay?
and I'm gonna hold my attacks for the big guys to get within range.
Got it. Azrael, you are up, my friend. You're like reloading the pistol currently as this thing just starts barreling forward. You're like, oh fuck.
He's a
Yep.
I'm gonna start running to the other side of the arena.
Okay. How far? Just full movement?
Yeah, 35.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 35. Do you want to like go back more, or are you good here?
Yeah, I'll tuck back a little bit.
Okay, so maybe like there. So you gotta do.
I'll start with a shot and see how it looks against his armor.
Alrighty. Azrael takes the revolver up. You have the revolver out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not magic or I don't have
It's
any
the golden
ones.
one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The water race one of them. That's 24.
24. You watch Azrael, and you just hear, and the bullet reflects off.
Wait, you got a 24?
24 just to look.
Alright. I just now I just lost 50 damage is what
Shoot
just
again?
really happened to me.
24. The bullets are ricocheting right off the metal.
Hey Billy, can we revert that change? So now
What are
that
the
I-
odds this guy is immune to fire damage?
That's my turn.
Alright. Your Azrael,
He's
after
not-
he takes the
he's
shot,
not
just
red,
kind of
he's
lets
not
out a
immune to
fuck.
fire damage.
It's back like honing in on him now.
Okay. Alright, Chelonia, you are up.
Can I see any weak spots in the armor? Right? Like, he's
So
not
go ahead and make a perception check for me.
That's a 19.
19. Okay. From head to toe, it looks pretty covered. You can see like on the sides of the armor, there's like a little bit of flesh that's appearing there, but for the most part, it's very, very well covered. And like those spots that are on the side, like you got to be up close to get into them. You know what I mean? So they're not like I wouldn't say it's like a weak spot or it's vulnerable, but it's like the only real
Like
opening that's there.
flesh,
So
okay.
it doesn't really seem like there's somewhere to actually like get in and hit some sort of weak point constantly to defeat
Right.
it.
Okay. I'm gonna move and split the difference between Zara and Azrath.
Okay, so like here?
Yeah.
Okay. Plenty of movement to do that.
And then I think I'm going to I'll take the dodge.
Okay, good call. Good call.
Or, yeah.
All right, Ander.
It's a really good call.
I'm gonna attack him 5 times.
Okay.
None of them are sharpshooter.
All right.
Fair.
Thank God.
Just 5 normal attack.
Just 5.
If your next attack hits, it's a critical.
Oh.
If. What is it? 19?
Yeah. Throw the card and it actually hits the armor but just fizzles into blue energy.
Does it? This game sucks. I just wanted
Does it say next attack or next attack that hits?
if your next attack hits.
Ooh.
28.
28 hits.
And the other 2 are higher.
Okay.
I did miss the other one. Or miss one.
Alright, so the first 2 card throws that you take slam and just fizzle into this blue kind of arcane fire against the armor. And then you take the next 3 and you find purchase like in the sides of the like kind of rib cage area on both sides. The celestial arms up top, throwing cards out. What do you got for damage?
It's a good question. Fuck. Probably do math. Fuck.
I get it.
Dude, it's hard. 37. That's what it is, because of the.
Okay.
Don't get to do the extra 12 damage all the time, but you know, it's okay.
Escape.
Shiny
Okay.
grappling.
Those ones that hit on the side, you feel the throws that come off are solid and they make contact, and you see the flames kind of fizzle on the inside, and you're pretty confident you hit it, but the creature doesn't react in a way where it seems like it hit. Like it's just so focused on killing in front of it that the pain just doesn't seem to even be existent to it.
I did the same thing, I understand.
Zarbrax, you're up.
Oh boy. I thought it was low. Uh-oh. I s-
It's a bookmarker?
yeah. I'm going to
Kill him.
cry.
Kill him.
There's no time for crying. The rage cry.
I'm
would
just
be
gonna
pretty great.
activate rage and hold my action
Okay.
Till-
Hold your action to what's the trigger? And what
until
action are
he
you
is
taking?
the attack action and when he is within attack range
Got
for
it.
me.
The help action. He's gonna help him hurt himself.
Okay.
Pat him on the nose.
I feel like that. You don't need to charge.
No, he teleported. For
Did he
sure.
teleport?
That was a teleport.
Oh, he
Did he jump?
stampeded.
So
He
I
ran right
need
through you.
Moldrak, Zar,
Well-
and Chelonia to make.
I have the sentinel.
What do we got?
ability.
Dexterity saving throws. Yep, go ahead. You're gonna take your
Well, I gotta-
attacks first
Okay, so
because
And
he's,
then
he's
Okay.
gonna be within range. So you guys are gonna be able to hit
Okay.
him like as he's running up.
All right.
At
I
you.
have the opportunity to knock him prone.
Okay, go for
Just-
it.
just
Whatever you
saying,
guys are
okay.
doing.
attacks first. We'll do
You do your attacks first.
If you
and
knock
then
him
switch.
prone, instead of him running through you, he just rolls
And I know
through
that
you
you're
guys.
even if it doesn't like provoke opportunity attacks, I'm pretty sure you still, as long as they leave your range, right?
Yep.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm gonna attack reckless.
Oh, so he runs you over first, though. Because he has to.
I
run
also
over
got a
you.
19
Oh my god.
and a 1.
So cute.
Yeah. One of them is not gonna hit with a 20.
Okay.
25.
25 hits.
Okay, cool. And then the next one is 19 plus 14. 32, 35.
Okay, so 2 hit.
One of mine hit.
Okay.
I got a 29, so I'm assuming that.
Strength save to see. It's like every time you make a hit, right? Like
No,
you're-
it's a reaction.
Okay, so you can cause it to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
If on a successful hit, I can use my reaction to force him to make a strength saving throw,
Got
and
it.
if he fails, he's knocked
All
prone.
right. So if here's what I'm getting at. If you use your reaction to cause him to like do that, you can't take a reaction for like it doesn't matter because he doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you're gonna use it for the knockdown.
Yeah.
Okay. Strength save.
I'm gonna die again. I just realized.
So that's
I think I might be
20.
range still.
Well, if I was,
If it's over 20, he's gonna
Yeah,
succeed.
it's-
he can't move
Oh, he wouldn't
fast.
be all the way over there at least. He'd just be behind you guys.
And I did
That makes
18 damage.
18.
Yeah.
Okay.
22 points of damage for my 2 regular attacks.
Okay. All right.
And then my opportunity attack.
So he's at least gonna get to here.
Yeah. 25.
Nice.
Hits.
Good.
So he's gonna stop there.
Rolled an 11.
Yeah, I'd rather
and
him stay where
then
he's at though than hit the
The
wall.
damage
where I'm
for
at.
that is going to be 13.
13. Okay.
So
So,
In addition to the 22.
going through you two guys, you're still gonna have to make your dex saves
Oh yeah.
because he's gonna pass through, leave
Yeah.
that range, and then you're gonna have to do it. But it avoids going to Chelonia because of it getting stopped.
That's not good.
So that should be. Like,
Oh wow. I'll take it. Yeah. Hopefully it's high enough. 20.
20 is success.
12?
That's a fail. You are not prone, and you take damage.
Okay, so
What
like
kind of damage did he take?
Bludgeoning.
as he charges through, I'm just going to take the hammer
He's
and
already
whack the back of the knee so that he stops.
He is.
Okay.
Are they both are?
He's saved. It's probably half damage.
Yeah, I got it's 5, but I rolled the 20. 18 plus 2.
I just get half damage for my being a barbarian.
Because he's angry. All the time.
Okay, so 30 points of bludgeoning,
So half?
half to 15, so you
Okay.
take 15.
Okay. Oh, and it's bludgeoning. Damn.
Yes. Okay, so as the creature just starts barreling forward, trampling, Trillin, you see it just charging towards you and like plows through Moldrak and Zarbrax, who as it's charging towards him, Zarbrax and Moldrak are just flailing the shit out of it, like hitting it as hard as they can. Moldrak takes his 2 hits and like you can see the axe bouncing off, the hammer bouncing off, and it's just charging forward. Moldrak turns around and like smacks it in the back of the leg, and you see it kind of falter a little bit to where it gets it knocked off course, but as you also hit it, there's like huge gust of wind pulls up around it to like, it doesn't like pick it up off the ground, but just disorients it enough to make it completely
You mean
stop
he picked
where
him
it
up
is.
and threw him into the air and he's gonna take fall damage, right?
Right.
500. The bigger they are,
Okay.
the harder they fall.
And on
I'm just
top
saying,
of
when
that,
I made this, I tried to help us out. Spikes
As-
on the walls, guys. Like bull, you know, get them to run and all.
as
Maybe I should just let him run.
as the creature
Nah,
is
it's
just
good.
barreling
That's a good idea.
forward, lets out this just like. So as it's doing that, it's screaming and extremely intimidating. So the, yeah, that's everybody close enough. Everyone's got to make a wisdom
afraid
save.
of this guy.
Everyone's got to make a wisdom save.
What is
Unless
this?
you're immune to being frightened.
So it is a frightening check though. So I have advantage against frightened. You need to charm me.
Yep, it is to be frightened.
I feel like at this
Wisdom
point I shouldn't be
save.
scared of anything.
22.
I flew in the
I
air.
should be, but I'm not.
Conquered my flight fear, okay? It's easy.
Wait.
11.
That is a fail.
All that took fucking.
I failed.
You failed? No, guys. I failed. What does it do for? Does it make it so you can't?
You can get closer.
You can't move closer, and then your attacks against it are at disadvantage, and its attacks against you are at advantage.
I failed.
What?
I failed. Okay, I got a 6.
Guys, stop being afraid.
Yeah, can you like?
Chelonia, what'd you get?
Freaking afraiders.
I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, yeah, you're good, dude.
Can you like
Having
stop being a
demons
pussy
may not be
like
doesn't count
during
right
the
at
fight?
the-
Is that
It's a
thing?
two-
Like
if it's
can
a
I
two, it
like
counts.
overcome my fear?
Probably
It's a
just
two to
an
me.
action to do something.
If it's
I don't
a
have
Probably
to be
worth
using
it
it?
if he has
no,
a
if
20.
if it's a 2, you get the benefits.
Oh, it's still attuned to me. I only have this my 3rd thing.
Oh yeah, if it's attuned to you and you have it on you,
Yeah.
you gain the
not
benefits.
using it.
Yeah,
So I'm
But
immune
you-
to it. I've used demon.
yeah. The only things that you don't obviously gain are like the damage modifiers and stuff like that, but you gain the natural like benefits from it. Because it should say while attuned to this weapon, it doesn't say like while attuned and like using.
While actively using it.
Yeah.
Also wielding.
While in hand.
Does it say wielding?
Yeah.
Let me see that card.
I have
really
arrows.
fast.
I mean, wielding is like, I don't know.
Give me-
You made it so it
I'm
depends
googling the
on what your
definition of
intentions are of
wielding.
it.
Decision.
Oh yeah, my bad. It says while wielding right in the card. I did it on purpose though. Okay. So you would be frightened. All right. So as it's barreling forward, you're not like petrified to your core, but it's more of like this, oh fuck, like you just took 2 shots at it and they just ricocheted off like nothing happened. And then Ander, for you, like it just didn't even seem like you did anything to it. And Zarvax, you're like slamming into it, hitting it as hard as you can, and it just more rattles you from the way that it smacks you over to the side like you're nothing, just tosses you over, and you're just like, oh fuck, like I need to focus, like this thing's gonna fucking kill me. So you guys are just like really shooken up right now.
Okay, what if while he was getting yelled at, he grabbed the gun? He grabbed his demon bane and held on to it.
Okay, I can't use this right now.
Just held it. It was like, well, not afraid, pussy.
He'd be like, I need you to turn into a tiny rock, and then you just hold it in your hand.
Isn't there a condition that makes it so that you can't move towards an enemy?
Pet rock.
That's what I'm saying.
Pass
Get
those
the
down.
rock out.
Pass those 2. No, he needs one. Pass the other 2 down. There you go. Okay. After that, that's its turn. So we're at the next round. Moldrek,
You
you're up.
really don't want to be on this side of the table. I'm going to be honest here.
Cannot
free
willingly
over
move
there.
closer to the source of fear.
Yeah, you can't go close to
Well, oh my god, this is a dragon fight all over
Come give me
again.
a high five real quick and I can remedy that.
You don't have to run away from it.
I really want to see if fire does something else.
So you can keep attacking it.
Yeah.
I can if it's too far away from me.
Yeah, you can't move toward it.
I mean, it's only 3 rounds.
Where are you at?
You get
Oh, is
shoved
that
away,
you fucking
you
on the
just get
ground?
knocked
He
And
just
just
gets knocked down.
you can
fucked up?
Oh yeah, my
You can
bad.
come give
I
your
got
boy
tossed,
skip
like,
an old
put
high
him there.
five and I can get rid of that.
All right.
Stop telling us shit that doesn't matter, okay?
I don't know if everything
I
here is
can
immune to
cure
fire.
fire.
I'm gonna try Fire Lash with 1 attack, and then I'm
Okay.
gonna spend my other 2 trying to hit him.
Okay. You just turn around and get the fire going.
You big oaf. 24.
24 misses. Shit, take the hammer and slam it into the back, and it hits a plate, and it just does not seem like it's making contact to hurt it. The flames kind of flick up on it.
Are we on like the first level of the stands?
You guys are at the 3rd. Yep, from where you guys
Can
were
I
before.
shift around? How far is Ander from him? I can't really tell. If I shifted around to the other side of him, could I be within reaching distance of Ander?
You're like 20. Like if you were here, no, you're still like 10 feet away.
Okay.
Do you want to be here, or still behind?
No. I'm gonna run around. I think. Well, how much? I guess I can. How much they have. I'm gonna run around to Chelonia because I'm worried about him getting taken out. And I'm gonna, on my chest plate, hit the earth symbol, and I'm going to use 2 charges and grant Chelonia 25
Temporary hit points?
temporary hit points.
Okay. There should be a little spot on your character sheet where you can write in temporary hit points. I
So
recommend
you-
doing it with pencil.
You feel
Pencil
the
right there in it,
the sand crawling up your Chelonia, and it solidifies almost like an armor.
So when you take damage, the temporary hit points go away first before your actual hit points.
Sweet.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay. Azrael.
So, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
Okay.
Just kind of be like shaking a little bit, holding the gun, trying to find the the right spot.
Got it.
So, for how our like house rules go, you can have multiple levels of advantage and disadvantage. and
Correct.
Whoever ends up having more at the end is what's going to happen, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm going to amplify Curse of the Marked against him.
Okay.
So my next attack is an
So it's
advantage,
gonna
so
give you
2
advantage
advantages and
'cause
1 disadvantage.
From honing in, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're at advantage.
And then all my damage against him, I get an extra blood rate die.
Okay.
For this turn.
Good use of it.
Roll high.
There's a lot of disadvantage advantages going on there.
Come on.
22 is a miss.
Okay.
And the next one doesn't have advantage. It's 24.
Damn it. Again, the shots ring out and they just keep reflecting off.
Just do spells that
You're
I don't have
like
to-
kind of shaking, getting ready to unload the revolver.
I
Do
don't have to roll
I
the-
roll to save at the end of my turn?
Yes. For those of you that are frightened, remind me at the end of your turn that you have to roll.
Oh, I still have the fires.
11 again.
I get to
That is also a fail, yes.
next turn.
Okay.
And the turn after.
Oh,
You
we
feel
just
your
roll at
hands
the
getting
end?
clammy. What? At the end of your turn, you'll roll.
Yeah, but you roll a disadvantage, so I'm never getting unfrightened.
We use hero dice.
Yep. We have 8 now.
That's good.
Okay.
If you need to use all 8, you gotta stay alive, bud. He does.
Yeah, he does.
He signed it. He put his name in the book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did a whole thing.
He doesn't. He doesn't need it. At least.
I think he's got good wisdom.
He's not feared.
So in regards to your saving throws, you do not roll those at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's ability
yeah,
rolls.
ability
Oh,
checks are
okay.
different. Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm still gonna get hero dice out just in case.
After Azrael, Chelonia, you are up.
I'm not redoing that.
Okay, so I'm
Pacing in
gonna
the corner thing that I did
see if
last time.
this is allowed. So as my cleansed soul, I can clear the poison, paralyzed, blinded, deafened, lesser cursed conditions. Can I also remove frightened? It says at the discretion of DM.
Yes, I'll let you do it.
Alright, so I'm gonna reach back and touch Azrael on the forehead with a staff. I don't know how far of reach my staff has.
You're really stretching it here.
He is.
I know, but
He is, I feel like he should get more range because he's not trying to fucking hit him with it. He's just trying to tap him.
I'm gonna say Azrael's too far. Damn.
So
I tried.
I'll
You
use.
can run around and touch him though. He's like you can come out of melee range, but he's gonna get an opportunity attack on you.
Okay.
Or you can run over to
He doesn't
Zarbax
have
and
a-
do it to him. And
he
he'll
doesn't
still be
have a
within
reach?
range. It's just
Probably better to do it.
he's like 10 feet away, at least.
Okay. I can't see.
Yeah, there's like a whole space here, and then he's back here.
Okay.
You're,
Then
you're technically like on the creature.
yeah, I'm gonna roll under his arms,
Okay.
and then I'm just gonna lift. I'm gonna lift Zarbrax up, and while touching him, I'm gonna use the.
You're good, man. You're good.
You don't even have to roll. Look at that.
He's like,
Here, Shab.
take your fucking card back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Damn, he just fucking said, fuck your frightened shit, dog.
Okay, is that an action or a bonus action?
I believe it's an action.
Okay.
This is actually me shaking.
And then,
Good turn. Thank you.
and then as my bonus action, I'm gonna use spend a key point to intuit, or 2 key points. So what is my proficiency?
I need
No,
two
I'm
D8s.
actually just gonna hop into my shell. Use shell defense.
Okay.
So you need new dice?
Yeah, his
I
AC
need
can be
D8s.
like-
That's cool as fuck.
All right. So Chelonia walks over to you, Zar, and you're on the ground. You're not like trembling away in fear, but you're just like trying to get a grip and focus. And Chelonia just like picks you up from underneath your arms and helps you to your feet, and then you can feel this warm energy pulse over you, and it kind of soothes you for a minute. But you're then you're kind of like, fuck this guy, and then you just like get amped up all again, and then watch him just like curl around and spin up into a shell, and the shell drops onto the ground in front of you. And then, Ander, you are up.
Is there any talk in the stands going on about this guy?
For the most part, you just hear a lot of chants. Like, you don't really hear a name. You just kind of hear like a lot of chanting, like for the champion, and like saying like rip his head off, like cut him in half, like rip him apart, like spill their blood, kill these humans.
Okay,
Nobody seems to be cheering in the favor on the other side. So this is what you're getting.
No way.
I have
would
a
never guessed.
advantage disadvantage question.
Okay.
If I have disadvantage, do I get -2 if I get another disadvantage?
Ooh, I would.
I didn't specify that in the rules, but I probably will put it in there later. But for now, I would say no.
Okay, because I got disadvantage for my gambling points. Also, if this card hits, it hits everybody around him in 10 feet.
Good one, good one.
Just classic. 20 to hit.
20 misses. Card goes wide, slams
time
into the
I've been
back, and there's this explosive kind of concussive blast to the back, knocking over a bunch of rock.
Oh, I would have crit. I'm so fucking sad. 24.
Misses. Next card
I got a
just
19, but it was
dinks off
disadvantage, so.
the shell there.
Yep, missed.
Third one.
It would have crit again! Miss!
Fourth one
25!
hits.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
7, 9 damage.
Okay.
See, it's not OP, man. Give me back my damage.
Okay.
No.
And then Zarvarax, you are up.
I'm
And
just
no
gonna-
longer frightened.
Okay, I'm just gonna let out a nice big
Oh.
yell.
Oh, yeah. Roll. So, we my big one. This is a 19, I get it?
19.
19.
Success.
Thank God. Now he's fucked, okay?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let out a nice big yell and
Okay.
start wailing on him.
Go for it.
Reckless attack. First one's a 27.
Hits.
And
20.
a crit.
Atta boy. All right.
Okay. So this is a regular one.
Got it.
That's a perfect 12, so that's 22 damage.
You should have said that was the crit.
And then here's the crit.
Oh, right. The brutal critical dice. Let's go. That one's
That one's cocked as hell, dude.
And the second one's 44 damage.
Okay.
And he needed to make a dexterity saving throw.
Or die.
Because with the crit
It's
comes
killing
some
stuff.
lightning
8.
channeled through the axe. He fails and takes an additional 14 lightning damage.
Okay. The first swing you take, you slam it into the back, and you actually feel the metal kind of cave in a little bit. And then you just take the second hit into the same spot as hard as you can, even jump off the ground a little bit, and slam the axe. And you feel it when you slam the axe that you're actually like holding yourself on it, and your feet are dangling off the ground as you're stuck into the back of the creature. And you hear it kind of just like reach back, and then the lightning shocks and blasts out the shoulder a little bit, and then you yank it back with a spout of blood coming out, and land down, and then it kind of just turns around and faces you.
I rolled a 20, guys.
You did great.
All right.
You did great, man.
With that, as it turns around and faces you, the first hit that it takes, as it turns around and screams, just kind of slams the tusks up like towards your side.
You're gonna get gored.
At advantage because you reckless attacked, so that will be a 29 to hit.
That's his AC.
You make a strength save.
29.
Success.
Weak
You
bitch.
take 15, half to 7. And then he's going to take 3 more attacks with the claws.
I'm gonna
So he
take.
slams the.
I'm gonna take my sentinel attack.
Okay, to react because he hit him. Go ahead. Do that first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it'd be off the first hit.
It's not gonna hit.
No? Okay. Yeah, you go to hit, and you can feel it like when you're hitting, it's almost like taking a baseball bat and like it's vibrating off something. Like you're. So the next 3 attacks, after it slams the tusks over into your side, you feel it kind of pierce and slice across, but it doesn't quite like jab into you. And as you're backing up, you watch the first 2 like large overhand swings from the claws, and then one from underneath like goes to slam up into you. So the first one, that might not hit. We got 22. Never mind.
Yep.
Big to hit. 27
Yep.
and 29.
Yep.
Alright, so I've got 12. First one, shit. 10, half to 5. 11, half to 5. And 16, half to 8. You get all that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, and that is its turn.
Kind of a bad turn, by the way.
Moldrak, you are up.
Okay. This guy too big to be flanked.
He is considered large, so you need 5 around him.
You know what we gotta do?
You can definitely
gotta
tell
run
by
in
his
there.
movements that he's very like slow to react to stuff.
Okay.
So you'd imagine that his dexterity is fairly low.
I'm gonna move around a little bit towards the back, just to put like a something in between me and Andrew, or
Okay.
Andrew and him.
Got it.
And I'm just gonna take 3 more attacks at him. I'm just gonna do them all at once. Okay, 2 hits. 16, 29 for both.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage for the first one.
Okay.
Or if you roll them all together, whatever you do.
No, it's I can. I just need to check this. I haven't used it in a while. D6, okay. Alright, that is 16 points of bludgeoning damage, and I don't know if he takes it, but 3 points of fire damage.
Okay. Take the hammer up and slam it into like the upper back, like shoulder area, and you feel the hammer make contact, and he kind of like reacts, and the flames seem to like lick up against the armor and underneath, and it seems to hurt him.
Okay. Damage for the second one. Awful. 10 points of bludgeoning, 2 points of fire.
Okay. Second one, the same thing. You just kind of same spot. The dent in the armor is not as much as you'd expect it to be. Like it seems like very well crafted, made armor. It looks super dinged up and scraped up. There's scratches and gouges and mends all over it. But for the most part, it's pretty sturdy. And when you're hitting it, you know it's doing damage, but the armor is definitely seeming to take a hefty amount of the blow.
All right.
Okay. As a reaction after your last attack,
Yo.
you see him kind of like look back quickly and then take his foot
Yup.
and rear it back towards you.
Yeah, it kicked you onto me.
It's a 22 to hit.
That's my AC.
Okay. I need you to make a strength save.
15?
He said 50, by the way.
50. Okay, so you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
You really kicked him back to me. Okay, never mind.
I go over Ander.
Yeah,
you went to the
like
side,
next to him.
Alright.
And then you take an
And
additional
he's
6 points of, we'll just call it piercing damage on the wall.
The wall actually... Why'd you have to put spikes on it, man?
It was going to be bludgeoning before, but piercing just seems more appropriate with the outline.
Yeah.
It would have been 5 bludgeoning, but now there's
You watch the
spike.
just rear back and donkey kick you into the wall. You feel the huge foot just slam up against your chest and knock you into the back. And then you feel a spike kind of slice across the side of your abdomen, like in your lower rib cage. Not like piercing through, but at least where you hit it, like the angle, it just like cuts and gouges a little bit.
Unpleasant.
All right. Anything else you want to do?
No.
Throw me at him.
As Riley, you're up.
I can't.
Take his last 2 shots, just kind of
You could probably...
frustrated. He
Well,
gets
you
starting
could
to get
pick
like
shit
kind
up
of
with
lazy.
movement. You could probably do that to me.
Frustrated,
Yep.
scared. For the small weaknesses in the armor.
All right.
So 31.
That hits.
Fuck yeah.
Is that in your crit threshold?
No, it's just below.
I was gonna say that's gotta be close.
Fine's just chilling.
It's like a bone or a stick.
12 piercing,
Okay.
non-magic, 1 necrotic, and 3 psychic.
Bone stick.
Hitting him is good.
The
Okay.
bone of a dryad
Second
goes in
shot.
here.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's a stick.
That's 22.
Okay. The first shot that you hit, you watch a little splinter of blood kind of splash
I'll
from
do
the side.
Rip him away.
1 augment. I have make a con save.
Oh, okay. Natural 1.
Fail, so he takes an extra d12 necrotic.
Okay.
And he has that mark on him to take extra necrotic. 11.
Damn. Nice. Okay.
It's the first time this thing's ever went off.
Well, they save every time. Okay, I'm gonna put the black one for the necrotic mark and the red one for your. No, you got
not
your.
marked.
Yeah, he's not marked. You're right.
Not
Okay.
branded.
Got it. All right.
Random, man.
I thought you did. My bad. That was the last guy.
Brandon him.
Okay, so the first shot that you take, the side of the armor, where there's that little bit of weakness that Trelawney saw. You see blood splash from that wound, and you see it kind of like react to it, and then you watch all of that blood that kind of splashes out, turns into this like black shard of energy that slams right back into the wound. And then the second shot just poof, ricochets off the back again.
Ricochets.
Almost like ricoflays.
Save it.
Cal
Try and
stuck
save
in my
again.
head. That's a cocked.
20. Oh,
Or no, yeah, no, you're good.
no, that was a 20.
Cool. Good shit.
Wait, is that for the wisdom save?
Yep. Good stuff. I'll take your frightened card. Thank you.
Alright. Everybody get ready.
Wow. Alright. So,
Brian is
after
facing the wrong
Azrael,
way.
Trelawney, you are up.
How
Most
are you
definitely.
doing on health?
I have
I don't need to
effective,
face it correctly, but I would
200
prefer to.
HP right now, so.
You were 100% facing that way.
I was trying to get rid of the fear by
He
not
was.
looking at him.
My bad. What you got? You're in your shell right now. I don't know if you
Yeah,
can
I
take like
think
an action or bonus action or how it works.
I
Or if you just
can't.
pop out.
I have to use everything. The only thing I can do is pop out.
Okay.
So for now on, I'm gonna
Just stand there forever.
Okay.
I'll just pop out.
Start playing
Why?
some kickball.
Oh
with
shit!
the
Yeah, pop out!
Oh,
It's time!
I guess I'll pop out.
Waiting
It's
for
my
everybody
turn.
to be on
It's
feet.
time!
Alright. You, the staff inside of the shell, your arm, like the staff comes out first, and then you just like spin upward. That's okay. Cool. Andrew, you're up.
Not time yet, I still gotta take my turn.
That's okay. It's not time based, it's just everyone
Uh-huh.
gets one round. Oh! It's still phase one,
I don't know what's going on, and I don't like it.
but don't worry.
Okay. We'll do one attack.
Okay.
Natural one. It's actually a 26.
Close.
I'm not cheating. 5, 8, Y, number 13 damage.
Okay.
And then, hang on. I can't, my hands don't work, sorry.
Fear's still wearing off.
It's just real life. I'm just scared of everything. This hit is an advantage. Also, if I hit it, does max damage. Sharpshooter.
Okay.
I hope so.
No, I'm not gonna sharpshooter. I cancel my sharpshooter that I just said.
He's like,
Uh, 31.
20.
you should have sharpshooter.
You would have
Whatever, you're right. So,
Max damage.
18, 24.
Okay.
And then my last 3 attacks. Was it 23 yet? 23 yet?
No. It hits and fizzles into the blue arcane
And
energy.
the only one of them hit.
Okay.
It's a 32.
Yep.
Actually, it's a 33. I can't remember. 4, 8, 10 damage.
Okay. The 3 cards that kind of hit all slam into the same spot, kind of on the opposite side that Azrael's shooting from. You're like throwing the cards and they're doing this wide arc into the sides. You know that they're making contact, or at least a couple of them are. You just kind of throw all 5 to the same spot and hope something sticks. And you can see it kind of react, but nothing too crazy.
Wish we had this fight first. We wouldn't have wanted to nerf my card. Nerf the thing. It's like, fuck, he's doing
Sorry,
15
you're up.
damage a turn.
After he turns around and starts like trying to swing his horns at me and slash at me, I'm just gonna be
Definitely
like,
challenging.
"That's all you got," and I'm just take another swing at him.
All right.
25.
Just hits.
26.
Hits. What was it?
Fuck him
Real
up.
awkward if you missed. If that's all you got.
Yeah.
Good shit. Okay.
38 damage total.
Shit.
And then I need a dex saving throw.
Or his legs break.
9.
Fail.
Damn.
He takes 15 lightning damage. And I'm going to use my reaction, and he needs to make a strength save throw.
Okay.
Oh, this is the leg
Shit.
breaker. My bad.
23. Fuck.
Okay.
His legs are not
He
going.
succeeds.
Tree trunk layer.
Alright. Slam the axe. The first one that you hit, the lightning just immediately arcs and slams into it. Then you take the axe and slice it upward, and he goes to like throw his arm up, and you cut underneath the bottom part of it, where you can see like this huge tricep muscle, but you cut deep enough, and blood is just like oozing from it. Okay. After that, the creature is up.
What?
I don't think so. I think you got the ordering wrong.
He can skip his turn.
I think it's actually Moldrak's turn, and we start from the top, so we're really happy.
Shit.
Option
Sorry.
for him to skip his turn.
After you like scream at it and slam the axe forward, it just you puny, and then starts to slam the hands forward. All 4 of them.
Don't be missing fucking when it's 2 feet away, I'm just saying. Different.
Do you attack recklessly?
Of course.
Just making sure because I rolled the damage. So this one's a 27,
Yeah. Just barely makes it.
25,
Yeah, just barely makes it.
natural 20,
Yeah, just barely makes it.
natural 20.
Jesus. That's okay. I guess I can handle some normal damage.
So the 2 that are
Did he
not
just say
crits,
2 natural 20s?
He did.
Bro, you're rolling 3 dice, you can't even get 1.
Don't fucking talk to me, bro.
9 have to 4, and 13 have to 6.
So that's
Then for the crits.
Oh, you're about to feel it. It feels like to actually get hit by
First
somebody.
one's 28, half to 14. And the second one's 22, half to 11.
Never mind. I lied.
25 total.
Okay. As it says, you puny, starts slamming the fist down. You feel the first one jab like right into the upper shoulder and like knocks you down a little bit, and then the lower 2 just slam up into your stomach, and then the third or the very last one just punches straight forward, and you don't know how you didn't just fly backwards from the blow. Like you take it and you feel the claw just bury into your skin, and you have to like actually like grab and pull off the arm a little bit to shove it back.
I'm just saying, if you got to, take me and fucking Azrael out, so then you get the stacks and then kill him. Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
I need 10 more.
You need 20? I
Yeah.
thought it was 12. I don't know why. Kill
Top
us
of round
and
3,
8 people
Moldrak.
in the stands, and then
Alright.
you got
Pull
this.
myself off these spikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kinda weird,
I'm
I
gonna
only
walk
got
forward,
3 charges
and as
in 6
Moldrak's
months, so
walking
it's
forward,
almost like
he
the guy was playing was
tosses out
keep
the
the kills
shield
for
and he
himself.
drops the
You're
hammer to
wrong,
his side,
actually.
and he throws his hands out, and you see flames, but they're
We
a
got to the
dark
20,
red color.
used it, and then got
And
to
he
9.
releases his hands out
Yeah,
as he's
okay.
moving, and these flames whip up
serious.
around his allies. And I'm gonna cast Bloodlust.
Okay. Fuck. All right.
Now we fuck.
Popping lust.
The flames start to just like
that-
burst over you guys, and it's not like a burning heat. It's just like this intense, almost primal like energy you can feel coursing through your body.
No.
Causes you to feel like quicker and like you're more focused in on what's going on in front of you. Your veins feel like they're just pulsing with blood. So go ahead and say what Bloodlust does for everybody.
Yep. So when you cast a spell, 5 living creatures of your choice within 30 feet are heightened with fierce power through your shaman ways. They gain an extra melee or ranged attack and have a 2-hit bonus to all attacks equal to your wisdom modifier for 1 turn. So everybody gets an additional +4 to hit.
Sick.
I do have a question though. Does that count for me too?
Yep.
Okay.
5 creatures. You'd be one of them, right?
All right.
Yep.
So I get to attack 3 times.
Until 1.
You just get it for 1 round. Yep. So after your next round, it'll be gone.
Okay. Sweet. Are you staying there? Or are you running?
No, I want to be in between. I'm going to move slightly offside so I don't hit Ander, but I want to be right up against the back of them.
Like here.
Yeah.
Somebody D8 a roll on a normal attack.
All right.
We should 5-man circle him. We should actually do it right now.
Azrael,
It's
you're
up
up.
to you. It's up to you. I think he might be
Well,
doing
now
some
he
damage.
Oh,
he
yeah.
doesn't have any ammo left in his gun. I'm feeling this surge of adrenaline. He's gonna holster the gun and walk
Oh, I'm
scimitar.
Okay.
Charge at him.
So
Okay.
normal attack.
I'm going in.
Azrael holsters the pistol and starts
3d8.
running forward.
Then- No wait. Yeah, normal attack would be 3d8.
Unless you have to use your bonus
Yeah,
action
I
to do
don't
an
know.
extra
I
attack.
don't
Plus a
Depends.
sword.
No, you know, this is just.
I mean, for hit, like,
Oh,
if he
for
has like
his
an extra.
moved.
Well, you said he pulled out his sword,
And
so
then normal divine smite is 2 at 4th level 3. So I need
pulled
4
out
levels
his
above to do all
D-Simi,
that.
bro.
That's okay. The sword hit also.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to
And that's
curse
without
a
the
mark
second
on him.
smite.
Okay.
I am running into him if you want to wait for your attacks. It is up to you though.
Taking him?
Yeah.
Okay.
28?
That's 20.
You have a plus.
Plus
20
additional plus
like
4.
what?
Whatever you also.
That's to all of your attacks.
Yep.
And you get an extra one.
So,
Actually, I can't. My bonus action will be to switch the curse to the sword. Forgot about that.
Oh, okay.
Just from the pistol. 25.
25 hits. Just hits.
The sword's a D8.
Excuse me.
Yeah, the scimitar.
That's cute.
You want me to do it at you next time?
Yeah. Into my nose.
5, 10 of the slashing, 1 necrotic, 5 psychic. Oh, I get the extra. Fuck off.
13 fire,
And 4 necrotic extra.
Okay.
1 lightning.
First slash comes up with a. It's the one of the wave, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the first one comes up with a splash against the side, and then followed by that is this just black energy following. It looks kind of almost like blood as the blade slices into the side.
Do I have to?
It happens every time you hit. So what's the?
But he's somebody else
18.
in the third.
Yeah, that makes it. That's a 23.
And the second
I guess
attack.
my
Okay.
oath is
Miss 19.
Okay.
Third attack. That'll be a natural 15, which will not crit from being honed in on it.
Now it does.
Yeah, we'll go to 14
Okay.
after that last attack.
All right.
So,
What's happening?
scimitar. What
Is
are
it the camera?
I don't know.
It is the camera.
That's weird.
Ignore it.
Pretend it doesn't exist.
Can't. I was losing it.
Okay, so 6, 5,
No, I was like,
11 normal damage. Actually, wait, 19 normal damage. 6 psychic. And 9 necrotic. So.
Okay. So the second one kind of clanks off of the armor, and then the third one you just kind of slow down for a second, and then just reach forward and slash downward down the side, where it's like right in between both like the front and back plate of the armor, to where this huge gash kind of gets carved into it, and you can see the blood pooling out, and the kind of black necrotic blood also mixed with it. That's just like slicing into the wound, causing it to almost open up further. All right.
And then another strength save.
Oh, yeah, to. Oh shit, I might be close. 19?
Makes it.
Alright.
Was I supposed to make any checks for charging in?
No, not currently. We got Trelonia, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to use, as a bonus action, my Intuit.
Okay.
So spend 2 key points. All my attacks are an advantage, and my AC is increased by my proficiency bonus.
Okay.
And I'm going to get 5 attacks as I get an extra melee attack, right?
Yep.
So first one, so I get a +4, so 27.
27 hits.
Next one will hit with a 29.
Okay.
next one will hit with a 26.
I think you're only at 3. Because you have your normal attack, extra attack, and then the extra attack.
But
Because one for the sword
the
being a demon and one for
You're unarmored.
Fury of Blows.
To use your bonus action further into it,
Bonus
though.
action.
Because your flurry of blows comes from a bonus action. I believe.
Oh, does it? Yeah. I thought it was just automatically. Okay.
Yeah. So all 3 hit.
All 3 hit.
Go ahead and roll damage.
And if I hit with both, I deal an additional force damage equal to your monk level, so an extra 16 points of damage.
Okay. Cool. Go ahead and roll damage for the 2 attacks. Oh yeah, that's right. That's what you forgot the last time.
Yeah.
Okay. Trial and error.
Alright, so. I add strength, so 30. So 41.
Oh, nice. All right. So the 3 attacks, like how are you doing your attacks? Using the staff, using your hands? How are you doing it?
Well, I have to
3
use the
attacks.
unarmed strike.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try and hit it like under its chin, where it's like a little weak, though,
Okay.
like not as armored.
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. So you just take your fist and start just like slamming up into like the throat area. You can hear it kind of like coughing and gurgling a little bit from the blows, and you see these yellow rings resonating outward. Okay. Ander.
You
One of them misses.
Okay. Still got 5.
One of them charms him. That doesn't matter though, because I'm gonna hit him right after.
Seduce the big guy.
So I only got 5 attacks. But I'm gonna run at him. I'm in melee range.
Okay.
Is he flanked?
He's flanked.
Flanker. Flanker Z.
This one's at advantage. So double advantage. Plus 2?
So
Plus 4?
Yeah. Plus 6 essentially to your hit.
21 to hit?
Come on, man.
Jeez.
almost automatic.
Sharpshooter.
Right?
Holy shit, I still almost missed. Actually, I'm at 16 on it. Because it's 21 minus 5, 16. 25 to hit.
Hits. That was so close for how much of a bonus you just had.
They're all sharpshooter.
Okay.
Go for it. This is the time.
Plus 14, because, yeah. So, 26. That one hits. Also hits.
Okay.
And the last one. Yeah, one hit. I think. Yeah, 25 exactly.
Okay, so all 5 hit. And then the only one extra was a charm, right? Like the only magic, like face card
Somebody-
was a charm.
Oh, yeah, and then
Okay, and then
also
the
one they
advantage.
missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a heart on it.
He... By minus 16. He takes 58 just from the sharpshooters and my modifiers.
Okay.
And then...
Got it.
And then.
This is the plan. Do a fuck ton of damage. We can't.
Okay, this was a terrible idea. I gotta fucking actually... 45 damage.
Okay.
It might be over 100.
That is over 100.
You did 100, 103.
103.
How's this big guy looking?
That was that was the plan.
Big guy.
Do as much damage as we can in this round.
As you feel this energy just like pulse over you, you just start screaming and running forward. You feel like Zarvrax right now as you're just charging in. You're running forward and like getting ready to throw cards. The first one you throw, you're like right on it and you just chuck it as hard as you possibly can. And then the other ones, you're just like in this flurry, just chucking the cards forward until you see the back part of like the plate, like near the upper leg area, just has all of the metal carved out of it, and there's like this huge open spot where you've carved a huge chunk off the steel and like into the actual flesh itself. And it reaches back with one of the claw legs and it's like grunts at you and turns to face you.
It's okay.
Good night, sweet prince.
He's gonna turn back around in a minute, don't worry.
Yeah, I was wrong about the modifier.
It's
It's
more,
50
isn't it?
base from
50 from your sharpshooter, and then 3 attacks with your
4. Or this
3 attacks with your +5, right?
4.
Oh, because my
my-
extra one.
Or yeah, 4 because my. Or I guess if one of the attacks, it would be my first one that missed. So only 3 of them have the modifier, and then the 2 that. So it's 8, 16, 24.
You only have a +4.
Huh?
What modifier are you talking about? Your dex?
My dex is +6 on top of. And then I don't get that modifier. That's what you said on
Right.
the 2 extra
Why,
attacks.
why are you going at 8? Oh, you
Because
have
I
an
have a
additional
+2.
+2.
Yeah.
Okay. So 8, 16.
16, 24, 28. So just add 22 to what you have.
Giving him out.
So 125 damage.
It's like, why is 56 wrong? But it's my sharpshooters alone
All
is
right.
50.
The just carved out part in the back, you can actually see some sort of like probable tendon or like kind of smaller, lesser muscles in the back of the leg that you've just carved into. Blood is just heavily falling from it. You can see it shining off of the metal itself from the flames that are around, and it has now screamed and turned around and looks even tinier and starts to get ready to lift its arms up. Zarbrax, you are up.
Can you do more than 125 so he turns around and looks at you? Because
He's got a big open spot on the back now.
I have advantage because he's flanked, right?
Oh yeah.
I am not attacking recklessly.
you get +2.
Yeah. You'd be at +6.
I am inspired by Ander charging in,
Okay.
as if he has taken after me, like he's my little brother.
Probably older. I'm just gonna
And I just go, yeah, Ander, yeah!
Alright.
26,
Yeah.
28,
Hits.
25.
Hits.
Can't roll 20s to save my life, dude. It's terrible.
It is unfortunate.
44 damage total.
Okay.
Plus, he needs to make a dex save.
Really?
He's never gonna make
Not
it
really
3.
going government.
14 extra,
cracks first.
and he needs to make a strength saving throw.
I'll make those.
And it might be me.
Fuck, we won't.
I'm losing it, man. I'm losing it.
18. That's a very bad roll, by the way. This has a very big modifier.
It might not matter, so
Strong boy. Okay. Screaming out,
I tried.
like cheering on Ander and being inspired, you start carving into the back. You're hitting kind of like the same spot you hit for the first 2, and then the last one you see that part on the leg that Ander like carved into, and you just take the axe and slam it into it, and it just kind of like rears up and like lets out this huge scream, and then from like trying to like hold back the pain and like power through it, just starts slamming its fist down in front of it into Ander.
I'm too small.
Is that his turn?
That is Anazar's turn now. It is this creature's turn.
Oh, okay. I have a sentinel question, and I don't know if he'll allow it. It says I can attack another creature if they make an attack against somebody other than me. Can I just use that attack to cast a new enhancement, or no?
That's a good idea.
I'm gonna say. Fuck. Hold on.
It's really up to you. I'm fine either way. I just figured it,
Yeah, I'm gonna probably not.
Okay.
Because I think with your it has to be your attack from the attack action kind of deal.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
So.
I'm still gonna take that attack though when he starts hitting Ander.
Okay. So
actually
after the
just
first one.
lose
All right. First attack against you, Ander.
You got that calculator?
You need it?
I got one of those.
You got right here. It's the graphic calculator. You
26.
can chart out our damages.
We find out who actually isn't doing anything.
Take
Kick him from the party.
Take 13 points piercing damage.
Oh, that's not how you do numbers.
You want to take your attack now, or are you waiting?
Yeah, 28 to hit.
Hits.
The damage is 9, 16. 16 points of bludgeoning, 4 points of fire.
Okay.
The fire is gone.
Okay, so he's gonna actually do a reaction off your reaction.
Oh, fuck.
Can I reaction off of that reaction?
If you
Didn't
have
do my
something that
reaction?
can, sure. If you don't, shut up. Okay, so after you hit him with the hammer, he's gonna take his reaction to kick back at Zarbrax. So that's gonna be a 26. Sorry, you need a strength save?
I need to beat a 26.
No,
No.
you need to beat the DC.
Oh.
The 26 is just a hit check.
He's still gonna do damage, but
Natural 20.
Okay. Can you not roll? Can you not roll that on the
Okay.
strength save
He
and roll that on
catches
your
the
attack?
Yeah, pulls him down.
Puts him in a leg lock.
Okay,
Breaks his leg.
so you take 12 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 6.
Halved
And
again.
you are not. Well, no, it's not halved again. It's just you take the flat damage. The only thing that you're doing for the save is reducing, not being knocked back. So
Okay.
you take the full damage regardless.
You didn't roll with advantage, right? You just-
Correct.
Okay.
But the hoof, whatever the fuck you want to call it, flies up towards you and slams you in the chest, and you just kind of like flex and hold your muscles down, and the ground shocks behind you with lightning and almost propels you forward a little bit to resist the foot from kicking you back.
Can you tell me how much damage I'm about to take?
Yeah, I was just doing that, but now we're back to you.
Alright,
The
cool.
next attack against you is a 23. The third one is a 29. And then 16.
16 does not hit.
Okay, so 2.
God, he kind of sucks. Maybe I should say it after he.
16?
16 damage?
Yep.
Billy, if you just yell numbers at me, I won't actually know what you mean.
It's been a long time coming.
So 16 piercing damage for the first one, and then for the last one it's 13 points of piercing damage. Well played. Deserved that for sure. Normally there'd be retaliation, but that was well deserved. Okay, top of round 4.
Yeah, that's all he did? Do you want to hit me again, just for the hell?
all right, don't egg him on. He let you get away with one thing. Don't egg him on more.
Okay, you're up, Moldrak.
Bonus action. I'm gonna.
Do we lose that spell now? Is that done after
For
one
like
turn?
the first round, you guys attack, it goes away, but Moldrak still has his for one.
Okay. Gotcha.
Bonus action. I'm gonna push on the earth symbol again, and I'm gonna reach over and pat Ander on the shoulder and give him the same 25 hit
Okay.
points.
Oh, wait.
So you have 25 temporary hit points. I'm gonna spend one attack to do a 4th level rock bite enhancement,
Okay,
and then take 3 attacks against him.
alright.
What was a rock fight? We'll find out in a second. Look him up.
28.
Hits.
36.
Damage or to hit?
It's a hit.
Okay, that hits.
That's low damage for him, okay? So wait till he starts throwing those numbers out.
And then 32 to hit.
Okay, all 3 hit.
Once he starts saying 40s and 50s, then start writing down damage, okay?
Sorry, I just want to make sure I have the right number of dice. So on this first one, he needs to make a strength save.
Okay. 26.
He makes it. Damage on that. 19 plus 12. 19 plus 14. 33.
Okay.
33 points of damage for the first one. Strength save again. 11 plus 12, 23 plus 2. 25 points of damage for the second one. What was the strength save? Can you make it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say he normally goes pretty high, but
For 32.
make another one. 6, 15,
25.
12, and then 27 points of bludgeoning damage for the last one.
Okay.
Oh, that's 3.
Oh, that sucks.
Alright. That's my turn.
You say something sucks back there? Though?
Yeah, looking at ability, I just completely forgot about him having. And it's way too late to even make it have like a difference. But anyways, Moldrak, you
Great.
with this energy that this energy just feeling through you, you just start slamming up and down, uppercuts and side swings into the creature in front of you. You can see the last hit that you take, like up towards the helmet area, actually knocks the helmet off to where you can see the head now is like kind of just smooth, bald, grayed skin, and then this kind of just chiseled kind of jaw, and then the ears themselves seem to have like bite marks in them, piercings in the upper part, and then the nose itself that had a covering over it has like a septum that's kind of like pierced here, and then there's a bunch of small like divots going up the ridge of the nose back to the middle part of the head.
That's me.
Azrael.
Oh, I need to erase 2 of these.
Bonus action, I'm going to do a marked curse now. Amplified.
I don't have anything else I can do to damage.
So the first attack is 31.
Hits. Go and roll damage.
Okay. So that's 11 with the sword damage. 5 psychic damage. And 4 necrotic.
Okay.
And the second attack would be a 25.
Hits.
10 slashing, 3, 4 psychic, and I don't know where I wrote that. 6 necrotic.
All right. How do you want to do this, my friend?
Oh, nice.
Fuck yeah. He's doing it with a sword.
When so Moldrak knocks the helm off.
Yep. It kind of rolls over.
And he like turns around dazed to me. I'm gonna like step back and then leap up at it and like slash at its throat and then have the wave send it flying back on its ass.
Okay. As you take the swing upward, you kind of jump and from underneath cut. It's almost like you're right underneath it, jumping up and then slice. And as you're slicing, you watch the wave and the slice at the same time hitting into the throat, causes the neck to just like whip back and the head flops towards the pretty much right onto its back, like the back part of its head smacks against its back as the head gets cut off a little bit, and then it just rolls back and slams onto its head and crushes underneath it. Before anything happens, like in the pit itself, Azrael, as you slice and then land down, your eyes go with this huge bright white light, and you're like kind of reaching out in front of you, and all you hear is a voice come into the back of your mind. The demons you slay now are folk of Braxith. And then you come back to, and then look around, and the stands get dead quiet.
Did he say 4
Yeah. As the stands get completely silent, the two of you like You're looking out at all of the demons that are like up in the stands, and they're kind of sitting there. The pitmaster has like jumped up at this point, and you can see the wings kind of like furl out a little bit.
There we go.
You see him like almost want to reach back towards the large kind of warhammer-like
We'll kill him.
mallet that he
I
has.
don't know about that.
But as he like sets the arm to the side, you see a couple of people in the stands are even like grabbing weapons and like standing up. You kind of hear like these roars and screeches. Skip goes to like reach down for his blade as you're looking around towards all of these demons getting ready. You see the one here that's like reaching forward is like looking over, and you see this individual kind of like drop down and get like a little closer. And at that point, you and Skip kind of look at each other like, oh, fuck, like, here we go. Skip goes to pull the blade out, and then you hear the pitmaster slam down, and then everybody in the stands just kind of stops for a moment and is, like, looking to see what he says or does. The large creature on the ground now in front of you. You guys beat up well enough. There's blood. You guys have splatters over you, wounds, gashes, bruises. You feel tired. Slight headache that you have right now, Azrael. And you guys look over and you can see the pitmaster is walking towards you. You hear just randomly from the stands, "Kill them!" The only people that understand it really is Connor and Chelonia. Chelonia, as you hear that, you kind of like look up and then just quickly like warn the others that you just heard that. And then the pitmaster throws his hands up. "No. You must honor the contract." Puts his hand down.
I want to shake his hand.
He steps forward,
That's what we use, I think.
looks you guys over, reaches over towards his hand where you see a stack of papers kind of lift upward. All 5 of them seem to be the contracts that you guys had agreed to. And then he rolls them all up into one paper and then sets them out in front of him to hold. "What do you wish?"
We here, along with, and I just kind of point at the 2 people in the stands, would like a meeting with Gixia.
I didn't think it was that funny.
That was the plan, right?
Oh, all right. Well enough. He takes the contracts and burns them in his hand. The flames kind of rip over, and then he goes in front of him and opens up this circular portal that you can see. And you can see through the other side, it just seems to be these 2 large kind of metallic-like doors. And then he reaches over, and then right next to the portal opens a smaller one that you can see next to you, opens up a portal for you guys to step into.
I was just going to jump down there, but I guess we get our own special. As we're walking out, the demons around there just go.
As you start to, as you step out and then go to step into the other portal, him standing next to it as he's just kind of opened it up, puts his hand forward for a second. "Show your face here again in these pits, and it'll be me you face."
We're coming back to play in the
Puts
pit.
his arm down.
End of the campaign, that's my goal.
Puts his arm down, and you guys.
As I walk past the thing we just found, just dumping the, like spinning out dumping the casings under it as I walk past it.
The casings bouncing off of the steel plate as you guys step through. I'm gonna flip that back to
Is there
the
demons
normal
next to the portal that we're going through?
Don't do it.
Oh, I'm not going to kill him or anything like that. No, as we walk past, I just in his face and walk through.
You really want us to get killed.
He's trying
really
to kill us.
just-
It's crazy.
Just
He doesn't
unplug
know.
that.
Unplug it.
Or where does it go into the?
What?
Follow it into the computer and unplug it from there. Make
That
you
one
don't-
right there.
What was I gonna do?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
It's gonna fuck
It's,
everything.
it's that one, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you're right. You're right.
Is it gonna?
Just do it.
Thank you.
God damn.
Gee,
Why was
I gotta figure out why that's doing that. I don't know.
Unplug it.
I didn't want to fuck.
I was the one. I was gonna snap.
Should I play it again? Just see if
Yeah.
it does again.
Don't plug it back in.
We should have our
Experience. You write down all the data I just got.
fucking
No,
cool.
not for any particular reason.
Don't recommend plugging it back in. That's all I'm saying.
Arcana.
Did you hate this one, Billy?
We'll be banned on Twitch.
I did.
Brian did.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. It's for a for like a tabletop
What
game.
are we even gonna say to this guy?
It's called the Sworn Greater Beast. I've got 2 more of them.
Like a water or something.
Where are they at?
I have no idea. Something from that mini fridge if you can't find a water.
There's no water.
Never mind, I got a water.
You grab me a pop too, please.
Do you want me to wait for you?
Por favor.
I'll wait for you. So at this point, if you're not following, make sure you're following. So
Yeah.
you get put in for the giveaway when we reach 100 followers. Also check out the YouTube, all the other cool stuff.
Its wrist is tripping me out.
Freaking BRB, Billy.
Yeah, we'll be right back. We are back.
We're back.
Okay.
We're back.
So, after defeating the creature, you guys travel through a portal.
We found this one. I said something as you were.
Right now, you guys
Thank you.
believe that you are in the right destination. You are brought before a set of doors that you can see. The doors are made of some brass metal. That's pretty much the same metal that
When
made
you
up
say
the
set
pit.
of doors, do you mean like,
I'm talking like
or like two doors next to each other?
like a set. Like there are two doors in front of you.
Giant.
Right
A
here.
double door.
Probably like a good 20 or so feet high, 40 or so feet
like
wide.
two doors,
Big
and
enough
we
to
had to
fit,
choose a door. You know what situation I was in here, okay?
Fucking
The doors are made of this kind of same brass metal that made up the pit. You can see a large symbol on both doors. There's like this metal banding that goes in a perfect square around the entire thing. And then from the center part of each band coming down towards the middle, there is this square kind of metal plate. And then on the plate itself, there is a symbol upon it. It looks much like a cursive Z in the middle of it. It's not that it is a cursive Z, it just has that kind of shape. It seems to be some sort of maybe mark or whatever it is. You're not sure what it is, but it just has the same little shape of a cursive Z, and it is in the middle of what you can see on this symbol. It seems to be some sort of a large scroll or parchment that the symbol is. So the symbol itself just looks like this like scroll or piece of paper, and then in the center of that there's like a cursive Z just put upon it.
I know you're illiterate. It's okay. Yeah, thanks, bud.
As you get closer to the door,
looks like, so I was really good.
it slightly begins to open and continues to slowly glide
door's
across
just
the metallic
opening?
floor. Yes. Slowly gliding across the floor itself. As it opens, it reveals an extremely large interior. The ceiling itself is nearly 30 feet or so high. You can see brief kind of structure to it, like shadows of it that are causing you to be able to see where its pinnacle meets, but you're not really able to make out a bunch of details that are up there. If I could get everybody right now to make a perception check, please.
While we're making this perception check, what are we talking
I am perception.
My mind just went blank on whatever.
I don't think we had an idea of what
Taking
we
it
were
or not
talking
taking it?
about.
Not taking.
Okay. Got a natural 20.
I got fucking
Over the other.
21.
I got
20.
peepers for days, boys.
Yeah, well, Jesus.
24.
That was the idea.
23.
Connor?
16.
26.
Natural 20?
Which is, I see everything.
26.
Okay, so for both Ander and Chelonia, the two of you looking around in here, you can see that the room that you are in seems to be some sort of a throne room, essentially. You can see to the far side, probably a good 80 or so feet back, some sort of large shape and a bunch of features coming off of it that I'll get into detail in a little bit about. But the two of you catch on both sides, probably a good 40 or 50 feet in, there's a bunch of small sconces on the walls. And by small, it's small in comparison to the room. They're still probably like a good 5 or so feet in width, like around, and the flames coming from them are kind of a dull roar. They're not like these like just blazing flames. They're just like this dull kind of flame that's going. Some of them are just coals. And you can see on the walls themselves, it still seems to be that same metallic kind of brass interior. And then as you start to make your way up the walls, you can see these kind of beams that are coming across, also this kind of brass metallic. It looks to be very similar to how you'd imagine like dwarven type of architecture would be, but it has this kind of demonic twist on it where the metal is a little different and there are some slight nuances in the architecture that make you kind of get this just eerie feeling to it almost. You can see the two of you up in these large beams. There is some sort of creature, like probably more than a dozen or so on each other beam, and there's about 4 of them that are just like slightly crawling across. And the fact that you can see them, you'd imagine that they're pretty sizable. Like they're not just like these little like bats or something that are up there. They seem to be winged, and they're just kind of like posted up in here, like crawling around at the top. They don't seem to be like looking down at you, like getting ready to pounce, but they're just slowly climbing about, and you can kind of hear, Moldrak would probably be able to hear it really well, the clinking and like their claws are kind of like tinking against the metal as they're going across. And Moldrak, you hear it, but you just can't like see or make out where they are. As you guys are like slowly walking up, I'll give you guys about a minute right now as you're walking up to like kind of whisper amongst yourselves to get some sort of broad idea as to what you're doing, because you're like slowly walking up. As the doors open, you make your way in, and then the doors begin to close, and you can see on the sides the flames are starting to kind of...
I think the idea is just we want to help you move up the ladder in exchange for closing portals to a material plane. Okay. Is that as...
I don't see how anything else works, so...
I mean, I don't, I think we only have a shot.
I can almost guarantee he's going to try to make a bet that's
Hear
one-sided.
that, Azrael? You good with that?
That's how it works.
He's going to be doing his own thing, so he's not really listening to what the group's saying.
Okay. We'll just do it then.
More than likely going to try to swindle us.
Right.
So,
What can we do?
just be ready for that.
So if that plan doesn't interest him, we can just ask him, send us on our way to past the second layer, to the third layer, because maybe the second layer's a bitch.
We still have to go to the second layer, don't we?
Not necessarily.
I thought there was a ding-a-ding-ding there.
There
Like
is.
an-
But we
yeah.
can't go there.
There's one on
There's
each plane.
But we can't go there. It's like, I thought we were impasse. I thought there weren't one on each plane.
You guys think there is one, but there's only some that you are sure of.
Yeah.
Like the ones that you have actually seen beacons like portals
Aren't there-
on Zaxria from.
Aren't there planes that just like aren't
Don't inhabit
inhabited?
things? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is the second one of those?
The only thing that inhabits it is a large, monstrous creature that you heard about that kind of tries to prohibit planar travel. Like, like step travel. It stops you from going from the first layer like beyond. It's supposed to be like this guardian from almost like a Cerberus type of style
Which
thing.
one?
Where it
Which one's the
keeps
one
you-
that's like frozen in ice?
Kenya.
Is that one also uninhabited?
For what you would imagine, like you're like Connor's reading and study into it, seems to also.
6th? 5th?
No, it's
7th?
8.
8th? 8th.
I
It's
think
the
it's
one
8.
that stops you from getting to the last layer.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys,
But those two probably don't
as you
have
finish
portals.
up kind of discussing and are moving forward, Azrael's kicked back a little bit as he's standing here. Are you like slowly walking up and looking as you're doing it, or are you just kind of
I
standing?
don't know if I can, but yeah, I'm gonna be like just kind of hobbling forward.
Okay, yeah. You're just like slowly making your way up. As you're looking, what you see and kind of take in from everything, you see these like 15 to 20 foot tall giant creatures with this gray, ashen, like almost black skin. Their hair is this bright red, like almost like flames. It's kind of pulled back. You can see they have like a blacksmith kind of apron and belt on, and they're picking up these large beans and like holding them up, and then just taking a large pin and like slamming it into it, and then taking a hammer and like slamming that up into it. And then you can see towards the far side this throne that's kind of been built, and then sitting upon it and like sort of kind of giving out demands is that same kind of tall creature that you saw that has all of those kind of
We are
appendages and like
strongly
kind of
advised to not get a deal
Mephisto-looking
from them.
individual. So you're just kind of
I
taking in
know,
your surroundings
it's a
as best you
little-
can, and that's really all that you're
it's
like
a
looking at is a
little-
bunch of
I'm
these
not.
large, giant creatures that are building this room, and then the individual you believe to be Gixia just kind of sitting in the throne, overseeing everything.
I don't catch anything that appears to be like portal-like, or
Can't.
No.
I don't think we're all gonna individually be like,
I know,
hey,
As
we're
you get
gonna
further
agree,
up-
but it'll be like a group.
The flames to the far side, granted, these flames are a good 40 to 50 feet away from you, as they're lighting up, are only giving a brief bit of like light that's emitting from them towards the center part. There's still this very dim area in the middle. And as you're getting closer, you can see towards the far side, what you're pretty much in is this large, wide open space. And then in the back, you can see this large, several of these large centipede-like leg almost appendages that are resting on the floor. Probably about 5 or 6 of them in various spots. They're coming from an enormous, tall body, at least 20 feet. You can see a black shadow wisping about the bottom of a leather-like thin robe that gently sways constantly with no force of wind. As you make your way up, you're looking at what you believe to be is Gixia. As you're looking before you, you can see those appendages just slightly kind of bend and curl with animation. They don't seem hostile or anything, but they're just kind of like sitting there and kind of bending, and then they just kind of like click onto the metal and then curl up and back, almost like knuckles popping in a way. You start to look around more, and you can see the robe continues to sway, the shadow wisps all about, and you see the center portion of where his chest would be about. And you can just see this like shadow-like mass that sits back in the darkness. And the only thing you see in the area of the head, way up above you, are these sets of glowing orange eyes.
Did you or did he? Okay, just making sure. It's like Gixia really making a noise like that?
Sourceless almost, as it seems to emanate and almost behind you as you start to look about, but then refocus to in front of you. I don't believe my eyes. The most recent winners of my pit. Humans. Well, something of the sort. And with your victory, you choose your favor to be a meeting with myself. How very intriguing.
My goodness. I can feel it in my soul.
kind of like doing that prep. And my hand kind of just like on the book, kind of nonchalant. I'm just like thinking of Ferrex and like focusing on his presence, I guess.
I'm practically doing the same thing, but with a veil. Just sitting there, fuck. I'm not speaking. What do you guys can?
I kind of take a step forward.
As you step forward, you can feel almost
Maybe-
this.
Not too far forward. Come on.
It's like a quarter.
It's just like a.
He
I'm
barely
just gonna
moved. Barely moved his foot.
do a
Arm
whole-
comes from down and just grabs
Just
it.
so his face is a little bit farther than ours. So.
You almost see the shadows in the room like move forward towards you a little bit, almost to lean over you in a way. But that face that's sitting back there where those eyes are doesn't seem to like move at all. It's just kind of sitting there, and then the shadows themselves just kind of curl up and around. That's so creepy.
We've come from the material plane in order to make a deal with you.
If you are asking something of me, it does not come free.
And we didn't expect it to be free.
Good. That means you're not fools then.
This
At this point.
this is a deal that can benefit us both.
What do you know that benefits me?
Moving up within the Nine Hells to a higher position of power.
The shadows that are there kind of curl out and move a little bit. The appendages kind of clicking again.
The demons that we faced in the pits were not a challenge for us, not one bit.
Dab on him?
We can continue to move farther down the hells, and you can move up. You just allow us free reign of whatever we want to do there, and we will not go against you in any way.
Phrasing.
The shadows push out a little further at this point. The eyes themselves burn a little bit brighter. Who are you to even think you are worthy of the audience with me? Your contract with this pit is what gave you the opportunity. But are you deserving of it? What says that you are to able to hold up your bargain? Your end?
Do we have to? Can we
Who
drop
are
the?
you truly?
Can we drop the disguise?
We are the keepers of Zaxria.
Put your fucking head down.
Sorry, I thought it was plight.
Peculiar. Very peculiar.
At this point, I kind of lower my hood that I had over my head.
That's all you had?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like a normal guy.
he's not walking around as a metal fucking suit of armor.
Not a Gundam, but
As you pull the hood back, the head at this point moves forward now to where it is only about 10 or so feet from you. And you can see the shoulders are kind of up and out and they're bony. And then there's this robe that's kind of dangling over and these wispy kind of leather, kind of almost straps and sashes that are all about. The shadows themselves are kind of pushing around that, and then the red eyes burn a little bit brighter. And you can see this face is just super gaunt and thin and pulled forward. And then it comes to this pointed kind of chin that has these two barbed like bones that are coming off the end of it. And then the mouth itself has no teeth, but it's just this dark black void of shadow.
Unsettling.
So you are what the demons speak of in the night, the keepers. You've made a name for yourselves amongst these hells, a target on your back. A price higher, I think, than you'll ever be able to pay. The Lord wants you
But he
for
does.
many a reason. And you fumbled yourselves here right into my lap.
This is the worst deal we've ever had.
Yeah.
So, keepers of Zaxria, be clear. What is it you want from me? Tell me what it is you want. I'll give you my offer. And we'll see if it's worth our while.
I want to close the portals to the material plane.
Gixia kind of curls back a little bit in the seat.
In exchange for what you need of us to move up.
You see, I've always been here. I made this lair what it is. It's almost sentimental in a way. Worshipped a city after me. But the brutes that sit high above, different planes, lairs, Gragda. You hear this kind of like.
Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, I'm good.
The first layer, the beacon will remain open. As for your end of what you will do for me, you wish to close the portals, yes? What help do you need from me then?
Close them. Yeah, I don't think he has that.
We need the locations, and we need to bypass the second layer.
When the time comes.
Slowly coming forward again. The shadows at this point have slowly, now that you notice and start to look around, have put out all of the fires up into probably about 4 or so layers or rows of where you guys are. So like right behind where you guys are, it's kind of lit, but behind you seems to be kind of pitch black and dark. You ask of me to turn on my fellow demons and devils. But sadly, there are no fellow demons and devils. It's a constant battle of power, and who's better than this and that. The scales constantly tip, but those who rule remain most of the time. If you are capable of what you think you are, keepers, then you may be useful yet. I know of these beacons you speak of. I will give you their locations. You wish to access past the second layer? I will grant you this.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to be losing my soul.
However, your end is quite simple and works even in your favor. We'll take this. You see this hand come out. It's easily like each finger is about this long, and it's kind of like thin and crackly, like bone looking. There doesn't seem to be any flesh on it, but you can see floating in this kind of wispy black smoke, this kind of misshapen, almost kind of D20 shaped, but a bunch of spikes coming off of it as it rolls the hand forward, sets it down in front of you, and as it places it before you, you can see that it's probably about this big around. I'll need you to kill Gragda.
Easy.
I knew we were gonna have to kill one of the Lord's dolls.
Upon killing Gragda, you will plant this in his chest.
I thought he was going to help us kill him with it.
After you have slain Gragda and this has been planted into his chest, he will be permanently rid of. However, if you are to fail this endeavor and die, it appears that my end of the bargain is for nothing. So, I offer you this as a contingency on my end. He takes the hand over in front of you, and you can see this dark black smoke kind of roll over to where you watch 6 different podiums, or 7, sorry, start to pop up. Each of them, this quill kind of falls down into a little inkwell. A contract kind of slips down into that. Die, and you shall return here to me, ever in my debt. Their souls will not leave the hells unless I say they will.
Oh, butcher hand.
That's a serious question.
Is that Skip raising his hand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's still kind of talking as your hand's going up.
That's just.
Is this a forever thing, or like after?
That's what I'm asking. What if I don't have a soul?
Well, you have a soul, there, Paladin of Athayat.
Oh shit!
Run! No, just kidding.
I take off down the hallway.
Since all of your souls, who they belong to. But you sign this contract, and all of that is for naught. Whatever hold you think somebody has on you will be gone.
I don't.
It's only if you die.
I've done that twice.
Speak out.
Don't do it a third time. Or don't sign it.
Ferrex would be very upset to lose his most devout follower.
Ferrex is a fool and a sniveling coward.
Oh boy, we're about to lose 2 levels again.
Here we go. Don't let
I
this man in
promise
the
you,
house.
whatever hold you think your gods have on you, it is nothing to this contract. Anyone who faces me against it, they have no say. It's binding. Powers beyond their beliefs and control.
I'll sign your contract.
Good.
I just worry for your safety. If something were to happen to me.
What if I write legally?
You'll be there to help me.
This doesn't get removed when we kill if we kill
No.
Oh, it does. That's the.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Well, we don't know that. We didn't ask him that.
If we do what you want,
He obviously knows who we
He takes his hand forward and starts to like close his fist over everybody, and the shadow goes over everyone. Your transmutation that
Okay,
is on
cool.
you has
I didn't
disappeared.
want to talk to anyone.
I knew it was.
if we do what you want, do our souls go back to where they were?
The contract is
Or
as
will-
follows.
Okay.
I will tell you the location of the beacons I am aware of. Then, I will send you to the third lair, Minoros, Ragda's domain. You, from whichever way or fashion you desire, will find Ragda and kill him. You will plant this that I have given you into his chest. Upon him dying, our contract is complete. However, any death that shall befall you in the meantime, your soul is mine.
That's it.
Can you provide travel to the third plane from the material plane for us?
Unfortunately, my powers do not extend to that of the material plane. Your passage can only be granted to you here and now.
Do we continue continuous passage if we were to come back?
We're stepping a little outside of our contract and agreement here.
So we
I'm not a
kill
fairy
Dragda,
man.
and then if I die after that,
I'm a demonic
You'll be
overlord
okay.
of
If
the city
we'll kill her,
and
then
lair
it's-
of the hells. I give you this one opportunity, and this one opportunity alone.
I don't want to be like 80 and come back here.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I was trying to figure out.
No, you don't. If you die, if we kill the thing, our souls do not go to him.
Yeah, the contract is complete at that point.
Okay,
Hopefully.
yeah, for sure.
There could be a lot of gray
What do you
area.
say, keepers of Zaxria? Your
Do we-
choice is before you.
Do we sign something or?
The podium's in front
Literally
of you. that
podiums
have
Yeah,
the
he
in front of
contract.
us.
created the thing.
What
Oh,
happens
there's
if we don't sign
also
it?
sign.
To
There's,
like glance at him and
Yeah, I'm reading it
go
too.
ahead and make an intelligence check if you're reading it.
Make an
Oh,
insight
I'm
check.
definitely reading
Yep,
this.
you can make an insight check.
I'm not reading it. I'm not signing it till somebody else does, because you never want to be the first guy to sign it. But
18?
I got a 17.
Oh shit.
I'm worried about where my soul's going. Okay.
I'm trying to read
I'm
it
worried
when
about if
there's
I'm
two
gonna
folks
lose my
on him,
abilities.
So I can't read it.
19.
There's a strong possibility
insight,
we could
right?
deal with a double like
Oh, it's for insight?
No, yours is. He's trying to glean like the intentions of like if he seems trustworthy at least in a way. So you can either roll insight or investigation, whichever one you want to do. Investigation's to look
I'm
into the
pretty
contract. Insight's to
anyone
glean
who doesn't
the
accept this,
intentions
though,
of the.
can't go with us.
Of the
Yeah, I
accounts.
know.
That's
I'll do insight. I got 20.
I throw this out there. He might just kill anyone who doesn't
So-
sign it anyway.
For Moldrak and Chelonia, the two of you looking at Gixia, quite stoic. The words are very soft-spoken, and smooth and articulate. There doesn't seem to be any sort of deceit that you can gather. The contract seems pretty clear and cut, but the way that some things are kind of worded causes you to have a little bit of hesitancy, and you don't know if it's just the way that he is saying it, or if it's the actual wording of it that is kind of giving you an eerie feeling, or if it's just because you're in the presence of him that you're just feeling this way. But there's something that you feel like he just has this demeanor to him where he feels like he has a one-up on you. As for those of you that were reading the contract, you got a 19? Yeah, 19, 18, 17? How that went? Okay. Everything is pretty much laid out in there. It takes about anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes for you to go through the actual contract itself. There are small little like clauses written in some spots where it's stating pretty much, upon your death that your soul will be returned here to Gixia in order to kind of pretty much serve him out in entirety for all of eternity. So there's a lot of small things that you're reading in it that are causing you to like get this pit in your stomach, like, fuck.
That's not that bad. It's got a hang with homie
But
Gixia.
everything that has been listed out within the contract is going to what he has said. So nothing seems to be awry or
That sucks. I
misleading.
feel pretty bad to not say
Worst case.
Is there any sort of like time clause in it?
Or we have to play the
Doesn't appear to be.
where we're Gixia's bitches. Say what do we sign? Something that he kills us? We'll kill him. Easy. We got this guy.
You're imagining there's not really a time clause on it because you'll probably die at some point, and when you die, your soul is his.
Fucking no! They gotta be at close, like, levels of power. He might even be weaker than the guy we're gonna fight. So, like, we gotta, if he's gonna do the contract and kill us, I feel like we gotta believe we can take him.
So it doesn't say there that this soul captured isn't voided after we complete our end of the bargain?
It does state that, like, if
okay.
once it states at the very end of it, like once Gragda is killed, that the contract is complete. And then, like in the middle parts, like any sort of happenstance, and then it lists like every single possible death that you could possibly have. Like if the agreeer is to die by any means as such, and then it's like listed like every single possible way you can die for like 2 pages, and then you kind of like flip through all of that shit. So like pretty much what I'm saying is, if you die in between the time that you sign the contract and kill Gragda, your soul is his.
Hang on,
Okay.
it lists all the ways, if we die that way, our soul is his?
Yeah, and it lists every single
Kill
possible
yourself
way
a
you
way
could
that's
possibly
not
do it.
listed.
It's like, I'll find a way. I'll find a new way.
I'm gonna go jump down the throat of a beholder.
It's in there.
That's definitely in there.
That's for sure in
Probably.
there.
Does a beholder have a throat also? Are we signing?
I don't think.
I just thinking about, we're signing a contract
Connor
to fight
walks up
like
to the
a
podium.
god, right?
Picks up the quill and signs his name.
Right. You watch Connor
Because that next game's boat.
first walks up, pulls the quill out. After reading it for a good 10 minutes or so, you guys kind of like glancing amongst each other and everything, and then after Connor gets to the last page with like a signs it.
I sign mine.
I'm still.
Did he give me a smaller pillar, or
After
do I
you-
need like a step stool?
Every podium is like leveled differently, like that's in front of you. As you finish signing it, and your last like part where you sign off and then pick the quill up, it's like stabs into your thumb, and then you feel the blood kind of pull over towards the contract and just put
Still
a
my
dot of
blood.
it right next to where you signed. As for you, Skip, it does not do that,
Oh,
but
I-
it still seems
I'm
to
still
be.
standing there.
I mean, are you signing it?
Not quite yet.
Okay, but it stabs into Connor's finger and then goes over and puts a dot right next to where he signed, and then you watch the contract like quickly roll up into a scroll and then disappear with a burst of fire. Then the podium itself disappears with the shadow energy that kind of collapses it.
Once everybody's done, kind of just like looking up at.
I don't see how
Head
he
kicks
just
in.
lets us walk out if we don't sign it.
I'm gonna sign my real name.
Okay.
So what do you write on it, by the way? Or just share with the class?
You heard
Everyone
his-
will
you've
know.
heard
He's
it,
like
you've
he's
heard
doing
it.
one of these.
So you've all heard his first name.
Yeah, we did.
As you write and finish it, the blood like hits and then slams over to it. The contract rolls up and then bursts in flame. Shadow takes the podium, shrinks it down.
Shadows here?
Shadow, hey guys, I'm down. Yeah, just got a shitty gig.
You signed too?
Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah,
He's gonna get
Same thing for you, Moldrak.
Snake
Blood
hits me.
hits, rolls
Stop
up,
being up, huh?
knocks down.
standing there just kind of like staring at him.
That's what you got to replace me?
And then
damn. It's gotta
fine.
Ooh.
I grab my holy symbol and I close my eyes. I sit there and I say, Lady of Light, please forgive me. This is for the better of Zaxria and all that
Not that old.
inhabit the plane. This isn't my choice. I don't choose to do this, but I have to. And I grab the quill, sign. I sign just skip. And then
Alright, you
Then you have
feel
to sign
the
it.
pierce into your hand, and you don't watch blood fly over, but this brief bit of light, similar to the color of the inside of your soul, slams over and it hits the paper, and it rolls up, bursts into flames, and then the
He definitely-
color shrinks down.
You
into a
definitely
shadow.
half chubbed when you signed it, right? I just want you to know that.
he said, Paladin. Raphael.
Now in your thumb you have like a little tiny flashlight.
Good for reading.
I'll sign it.
I don't know if that Chelonia knows how to write, so he just takes his hand and puts it like in the ink and then on the piece of paper.
Put it on. You feel that
I like him.
pull off and then turn into this like pin that stabs in the middle, and then the blood plops over. All of the contracts after they're signed roll up, burst into flame, and then the shadow pushes down the podium itself.
Man, mistake.
We can't die.
Buyer's remorse.
It reads the fucking contract for 8 minutes and then fucking signs it and then goes, oh, fuck, that was a bad idea.
You just feel wrong.
Yeah, I know I feel wrong.
I'd say everybody feels a little wrong.
I go like this, and I just kind of like
Stomach.
make my hand glow a little bit with cure wounds. Still glow? Good? Am I still glowing?
Yeah,
Like, okay.
You're an oath breaker.
She doesn't know yet.
Oathbreaker, that's what I was worried
She's gonna
about,
find
really.
out.
Yeah, she hasn't got the
Well,
memo.
She'll find it.
marvelous,
Trust me.
then.
It's an email.
Yeah. She got a
Best
sword
of luck
for
to you,
so.
keepers, and if it doesn't go in your favor, it will go in mine. Either way.
Yeah. Wait a minute. I just realized that. Wait, it's in his favor.
He takes the hand and kind of gestures it forward,
That's why he does
where
good
he
deals.
then develops in front of him a kind of larger scroll that he reaches forward and sets in front to be grabbed. It's probably about this wide, and as you're pulling it out, it goes for quite a while. Like you can kind of expand it quite a bit. And just at a quick glance, a lot of it seems to be related to the beacons and what they mean essentially to it. They're not referred to as beacons
such a
either.
great idea.
They are referred to as pretty much pylons of demonic and devilish power.
Does it have the first one?
What's that?
Does it have the first layers one?
He
The
said that
first
one would
layer?
remain.
I know, I'm just
it's
wondering
not
if it's on there.
It almost looks like it'd be like you'd expect it to be like the first part, but
Like-
it's almost like it's
Like
not
an
on
FBI.
The guy's
just a
redacted
black
it.
Yeah, it's just
bar.
black
He
box.
redacted it.
I'm like, I'm doing the. I got it up to the pillar. I'm doing the light check, trying to catch him both.
Still classified. We gotta wait like another 100,000 years.
What happened to the
No, I-
polyhedron thing? They
Oh, yeah,
handed
it's
out?
He gestured it forward. I thought somebody may have grabbed
I'll
it or
pick it.
whatever it is. But
No, you can pick it up.
thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll
That's
grab
a
it.
I was
very
gonna
good
put it in the bag.
name for what the
I'll
fuck it is.
touch it. Yeah, fucking.
I was gonna put it.
We can just
Yeah,
put
you
it
gotta.
in
You have to like
Is,
grab
is-
it with two hands. It's
Okay,
like
I got it. Yes, this should probably go into the bag. I can't really walk around with it. There you go. It's a little heavy.
Try that.
I can just imagine onto it. Why don't you put it in the bag?
I'd like to also make a perception check.
I
Because there's a
I'm a
chest
spike.
in here. If I see any sort of chest,
Well, I'll
like
just
you
put it in
talked
my
about with Greg, then.
backpack.
I mean, I could put like
Oh,
a cloth
Okay.
around it or something.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
25.
Can I fit this weird spiky thing in the bed?
Yeah, it'll fit.
Okay.
So, like, looking up in the area of Gixia, like, he referred to, like, Greg does, like, actual chest.
Oh.
Yeah, no, like a chest. But his, like I said, is just kind of like this void of, like, smoke and mist,
Crossman and waters.
like shadow energy.
Greg
Doesn't
the
look like there's anything
Killer.
like that
I'm good now.
in his chest.
Less
No.
death.
Rock thing. COVID.
We can unmute when you want this.
Don't ever
Not like
read him.
you can unmute me.
Okay,
anytime,
you
not when
guys sitting
want.
here, after you get the scroll and you have your kind of spiky polyhedron, you hear Gixia once more. Well, you're on your way then. Word of the wise, hold your breath. Then he takes his hand over. The smoke and mist and shadow completely covers you. Your vision goes pitch black.
Breathe.
You go to like put your hand in front of
I
your
pulled
face.
I pulled
You
the
can
mask
feel-
beforehand. Sorry.
Okay. You can
Step one, we
feel
gotta teleport.
you can feel your hand like touch your face, but it's almost like there's something like just in between it, like this veil of something. And you're trying to see your hand, but there's not even like when it's pitch black and you like go like this, like you can kind of see your hand a little bit. It's just completely dark to where there's like nothing. You can hear this slight muffle noise before you start to hear this like sizzling, kind of like this like. And then your vision kind of comes to, and you continue to hear that like. You look around you and you can see this just sickly dark green and kind of neon green surroundings. The ground itself has these cracks in it that have these plumes of green smoke slowly curling up from them. There are these pools of green kind of like acid, like slime that are slowly rolling down a hill, pooling up into some sort of like a pond. You can see that the ground itself is very similar to Avernus in its kind of dark blackish gray cobblestone cracked visage, but there are the cracks that are going through. There's this green kind of almost acid that is coming through. Everybody that's immediately brought into here needs to make a Constitution saving throw besides Skip.
This is the breathing
And
thing?
for you, you can do it with advantage.
Everyone who's within
Chelonia,
5 feet of
for
me has plus 2.
you are immune to poison and
Everybody.
disease, are you not?
Everybody within 5 feet. Well, you get a plus 2 to it. Okay.
I have to make a save.
See an advantage from a mask?
Yes. You want to pull yours up?
Yeah.
Okay, you can pull yours up. You get advantage.
I'm guessing it's gonna poison some people.
22.
Success.
You said plus 2? A plus?
Yeah, you get a plus 2.
22.
Success.
25.
Success. 28. Success.
I would assume that's everybody within 5 feet of me.
Yes.
Are we all within 5 feet of him?
Sure.
21.
Success.
Nice. What is this a constant thing?
I think
It appears it is going to be. The
great.
way that the air is, it's not like it's dense. It's almost like it's not there.
I guess I'll pull
Like
out my
as
gas
you're almost
mask.
like kind of gasping for air, and then the air that you take in is just nasty. It's almost like you're just breathing in exhaust that has this like almost like swampy taste to it.
I know it's going to be a minute, but I put my amulet of poison back on,
Okay,
and I started tuning to that.
got it.
I
Good
took my
idea.
headband
I
off
got
and
those too.
turned it into a face mask.
Okay, nice.
I might still
That's a
have
good
mine
call.
too.
All right. The smoke and the just kind of the air itself, you can see
Still have yours too.
only for probably a good 150 or so yards, maybe a little further. But there's just this just veil of green smoke that's just kind of sitting over everything. The sky itself, you can kind of see. You can see these like breaks in the smoke where it reveals the sky, and the sky itself is just this huge, kind of almost. It almost looks like a layer, almost like an ozone type layer, but it's just this thick green smoke. Like there's no actual sky itself. It just looks like this huge green cloud of energy that's wrapping around the layer itself. As you know as well, the way that the layers are, they actually seem to, and from your reading, the way that they are made, There is no, it's not round. Like, you don't fucking go around and come back up the other side. There are edges to everything. It's all kind of encapsulated into its entirety in some sort of a way. And this huge green dome that you can see coming over the top, you can't see the ends of it or anything, but you can kind of see the top and know that that is like, it's going to be hard to navigate based on like landmarks using the sky is kind of what I'm getting at. There's nothing really besides this just huge dense green. It's similar to actually Brian's like shirt, like that color green, but it almost has like a little bit of a dull glow in some spots of it where it gives this almost acidic neon look to it.
You laughing at
You can hear
How funny.
every now and then what sounds like this like grunting noise, and it's not like it's close, it's almost like it's just kind of resonating throughout, coming from different directions as well. The ground itself has a slight rumble to it every now and then. It doesn't seem to be like any sort of a creature, like it's not like shifting plates or anything crazy like that. It just seems to be the ground itself, some sort of mixture of something underneath is causing some sort of chemical reaction or some sort, where the ground itself is just like vibrating from some sort of explosion or mixing of something underneath that's causing this rumbling to occur. And it doesn't seem to be in one place. It's kind of sporadic. Like you see this like plume of smoke kind of kick up from underneath, and you can feel the shake kind of emanate from that area, and you can feel it kind of shift towards you. And it's not like you have some sort of tremor sense where you like, oh, it's right there. It's just kind of pretty intense to where it's resonating out, almost like an earthquake in a way.
Alright, question here?
Yes.
If you, like, my enchanted stuff, like my cards, and like the card holding, are those attuned? Or are they just enchanting?
So...
Does these don't say they're, like, you have to attune to them?
What are those?
The cards.
Then they're not. I would have put it there in tune.
What about the card holder? I probably have to... It would make sense that I would have
that
to
you have to attune to, because that you would have had to attune to that
from like
before.
the beginning.
Yeah, so that's just like one thing you constantly have.
So I still have the amulet, the poison amulet attuned to myself.
Got it.
While we're standing,
amulet hat, and then your cards, right?
while we're standing
Amulet,
here,
mantle.
Oh, mantle.
no one can be poisoned.
The
I
hat's
take
up,
poison
I just
damage.
know.
I have
When they're
done,
around
I've
me.
done a tune from the animated shield, but I assume I can still just use
Okay.
it.
Yeah, you can use that as a shield.
Okay. While we're sitting here, I grab my holy symbol, and a little bit of green energy starts swirling, and I cast Aura of Purity.
Okay.
30-foot radius around me. No one can take poison damage.
Okay.
No one can become diseased.
How long is that?
They are resistant to poison damage. They have advantage on saving throws against the against being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned, and stunned.
Okay. How long does that last?
10 minutes, and I can upkeep it. So like I just spent a spell slot. I don't really want to do that much. So
Jesus. What level are we looking at?
oh fuck, that's a
Part of
fourth
the third
level.
layer it has.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that right now.
Awful commercials.
Yeah, I didn't even look at the level.
He doesn't pay for.
I'm not gonna do that right now.
I'm Gary Hansen.
It's a fourth level, so I'm not gonna.
Can you, could you mute real quick?
But I will spend.
All right. So,
Do you want to cast that spell? I think everybody's insulated from the poison at this point, right?
No,
it seems like something you're going to be dealing with
yeah, that's why I was.
throughout. But for
I have another
now,
thing I
it
can do.
seemed to be all right.
Kind of take the cloak that I got on and try to like fashion some sort of like headpiece out of it.
What's the
Maybe
lowest
help myself.
constitution?
16?
16.
14.
18.
16.
16?
I do have a what's it called?
Well, this lasts
The
an hour.
poison amulet.
Brian, you got to make sure that it spells you prepared. You can't just like randomly.
No, it is prepared.
At the beginning of the
Protection from
campaign.
poison, I have it prepared.
Suspicious.
I got the poison
see.
amulet and I'm proficient
Oh.
in it.
That's right. Okay. Fine,
I have
good.
plus 10.
Alright, then I'll hold on to it.
Okay.
I get advantage
So-
on saves against poisons.
With that, what are you guys doing?
What do we like? Are there any like buildings or anything?
Landmarks
cave?
around us. What's it look like?
So
He said we can
if
only
you-
see. Like,
If you want to look around, go ahead and make a perception check.
I do want to look around. I also want to take
18.
a quick peek at the scroll
I'll look
and see
around.
if it has any information about.
Okay, so I'll say that right now you can just make an investigation check.
It's always this stupid shit. Natural 20, I'm looking around.
Okay. So well enough with
Natural 20, I'm looking around.
well enough
Okay.
with what Skip rolled, you guys will be able to see what you need to
15
see.
on investigation.
15 on it. Okay.
25 plus my
Okay. All right. So, as you are looking over this scroll, specifically, what are you gonna want to like look for? Like, because you're not in this brief period of time. Like, you're not gonna be standing in this shitty environment, taking your time, like looking it over, trying to take
Just
in
like,
all the information you want to.
Like, I don't know, just like
Like, is there a certain layer?
basic
you wanna look at,
information
or
on
is
this layer.
Okay, cool. So the scroll itself,
I'm just, like,
it doesn't seem
skimming.
to like most. You'd imagine it doesn't have like a title or an author on it because it's just this rolled up kind of scroll. You can tell the parchment itself is it's kind of like a thicker paper. The writing on it is in some spots you can't really read it, but for the most part there are some depictions and images upon it. You can see that this third layer here, there's some sort of a central hub. Where it falls in the layer, you have no idea, but you can see that there is like this ziggurat type structure, and then in this structure, like sitting at the top of it, there is like this almost diamond shape structure that is there, that's held up by these kind of pylons, very similar to how you saw the tower in the first layer. But this ziggurat that's kind of sitting here at the very top, like the pinnacle of it, where this large kind of diamond-shaped thing is sitting, you can see that there seems to be some sort of energy that's resonating down the ziggurat, and you can see it's like this kind of picture on the side, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's showing the ziggurat like this, and you can see each like level of it, and then it shows like from the bottom up, but it doesn't show like what's in each level. It's not like this like super detailed and articulate depiction of it. But at the very top of it, in this large kind of cube, there seems to be some sort of a central like hub of energy that you can see that that kind of diamond at the top points down towards inside of this.
Okay.
You can't really make out exactly what it's getting at, but drawing towards like the ways of a beacon, like this is your best bet. This is what you're thinking. Wherever this ziggurat is, and then this central kind of top hub, wherever this energy is like kind of pulling down into.
Okay, I'm just like,
Yeah.
put it in the bag.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna just. Is it like overcast above? Like, is it like a gray, like greenish sky? Is it like just dark?
So it's actually dark. There doesn't seem to really be like a sun that's like giving light. So it's almost like this constant kind of nighttime for you guys. That's also kind of what's contributing to the only being able to see about 150 yards
Does
in front of
the
you.
green stuff give off like a glow at all?
Yes, it does. That's kind of where light is coming from here. There's like these small pockets of this kind of acidic green neon energy in some spots, and like the cracks in the ground itself that are resonating up are giving light. So that's really all the light that you have. Skip, you looking around as everybody else, you guys are just kind of like fashioning your little face mask, pulling yours up, changing the mask over. Trelawney, you're just like chilling and looking around, like nothing seems to be bothering you. I will say though, for you, like the air is still uncomfortable, but it's not affecting your constitution in any sort of way. Like it's not poisoning you or affecting you in that way, but it's still like uncomfortable. Like you feel yourself kind of going to clear your throat and just like try and get that bad shit out as best you possibly can.
100% focused.
Yeah, you start like scanning and looking about. You can see every now and then that there are definitely some sorts of creatures that are around. They're kind of varying. You can see in the cracks themselves what looks like these little beetle-like creatures that are coming up, and they themselves have on their back, it looks like this huge green kind of like sack, almost like the butt of them. Good call. The butt sitting there, he's just kind of like sitting, and then you watch as they're sitting there, it like slowly lets out, and you see a little bit of the smoke kind of curl out, and then it crawls back down into the cracks, and you see probably like a good 30 or so of them all about. It's pretty obvious for most of you to see these as well, as they're kind of crawling out of the cracks and like letting the smoke out, and then they crawl back into the cracks. No fucking idea what they're doing, but they're very noticeable. They're probably about this big around, and they're just like picking up.
Bugs.
As you start to look further out, you can see like beyond the smoke. Well, we'll just call it like smoke for now, but it's all for all intents and purposes that kind of smoggy, kind of green gas that's sitting around. Sure. Beyond like that, like you can't make out shapes past it. So as you guys are like pushing forward, stuff kind of gets more clear, and you're like pushing the smoke away from where you are immediately. But you're not like walking right now because nobody has really directed me or said anything. But I'm saying, like looking around, no really like landmarks. The ground itself kind of picks up, it breaks a little bit. There may be the occasional larger mound of rock, but there's no like arrow pointing this way or like a road or some sort of structure in any place that would lean you in a certain direction. The creatures that you see, there's a couple of things that are flying. Most of them are kind of smaller or medium sized. None of them seem to be immediately like attacking you or anything, but based on the noises you're hearing, things you're seeing, the environment itself, it's extremely hostile.
Yeah.
So you know to be kind of pretty mindful. You point out to everybody too, like, hey, like, you know, shit up here, shit crawling around.
Right.
I can definitely hear every now and then something in the distance. I think I may have seen something over here too. Like you're picking up on a lot of stuff, but you know that there's really no set path. Like this way is the way to go.
And then after scanning, I look at the ground at our feet
Uh-huh.
and look for footprints or a trail of some sort.
Make a survival check at that point.
Is this,
If one other person wants to, you can make a survival check as well. After Skip kind of points out, if you want to reiterate to everybody, Skip.
Survival.
Before you do
17
yours,
straight.
I've got a +11 in survival. I can.
That's 17.
It's higher than mine.
it's possible to discern. I know there's really no landmarks or anything, but
What'd you get?
Did roll
this
one.
area looks
I
like
got
the area
17,
that that
so
demon went into
practically
that
the
won
same area.
the last pit when he took the portal.
I have +9.
Oh, you had the same.
Yes.
No, I
Like,
just have +9.
I know what you mean. Yeah, like general kind of appearance of it, like the environment itself. Yes.
I rolled 17, you got a 16. I pulled a sword out to kind of light the ground.
Okay.
You see the holy light. We got
Looking
it.
at the ground itself,
I don't know.
this type of terrain is very difficult to find tracks on because it's just like hard rock. There's no you know mud or dirt or sand or anything that you can like you know try to depict anything out from. At least what you can gather is from what you can see, there's no like huge push into the stone. Like there's no big ass creature that's like roaming around through here, and it's hard to really make out any sort of footprints or tracks. And the ground itself has like bits of like stone-like dust that are kind of from the shaking and moving around of stuff. But best you can tell, it doesn't seem like anything's walking around here.
Is there any elevation at all? Like, is there any hills, or is it all flat?
In the distance, like you can't really see much, but for most of what you're around, everything seems pretty flat for the most part.
Have I been able to see that?
See what? Anything in the distance? Yeah, there's nothing that you can see. Because like I said, you can only see about 150
Right.
yards.
But we can see that ziggurat formation, right?
No.
Out in the distance?
Nope.
Oh, no, that was just on the...
That was just on the paper.
Okay.
But you know what you're looking for.
Right.
essentially.
Big ass temple.
Can I do like a Gandalf in the tomb situation and try and intuit the way to go, or you know what I'm talking about? That scene in Lord of the Rings. Where
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I got
get
what
what you're doing.
Yeah.
What does your intuit let you do? Because this is kind of what we have to like. You can.
Yeah, it's just.
You have to have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
We had Grim Psychometry on here.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean,
go
it
ahead,
gives
make a
me
check.
proficiency in insight.
It's not really going to help in that
23.
situation.
Okay.
So it's going to be...
Can I do that as a ritual?
You basically, I'd be able to like at the best, I think, sense like any sort of soul or like anything like alive,
Speaking of soul,
not just like.
So we don't have ours anymore.
I ask for guidance.
If I had
And
my
forgiveness.
5th level spell, I could do communion.
Just like the abilities of
Hey,
the actual feature. Is
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's
I'm sorry,
That's how it
girl.
goes.
I
Looking
love you,
around,
baby.
like using group psychometry, you guys see Azrael kind of go into the same thing you've seen him go into before, similar to when he showed you like the temple of your arena, explaining things with Gixia. Where you are right now, it just seems like this putrid wasteland. Like it's just been like this for as long as you know can glean back.
I'm gonna, as gross as it is, I'm gonna sit on this gross poison ground, and I'm gonna, and there's a circle in the stone around me, and I'm gonna spend 11 minutes ritual casting Commune with Nature.
Okay.
Which, if you want me to read it, you
Yes,
briefly
please.
become one with nature and gain knowledge of the surrounding territory. In the outdoors, the spell gives you the knowledge of the land within 3 miles of you. In caves and other natural underground settings, the radius is limited to 300 feet. The spell doesn't function where nature has been replaced by construction, such as in dungeons and towns. Instantly gain knowledge of up to 3 facts of your choice about any of the following subjects as they relate to the area. Terrain and bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, animals, or peoples, powerful celestials, fey fiends, elementals, or undead, influence from other planes of existence, buildings, and it just says, for example, you could determine the location of a powerful undead in your area, location of major sources of safe drinking water, or the location of any nearby towns.
All right, what do you want to know?
I would like to know if there are any like towns or buildings within 3 miles of us.
Okay.
Would this be considered like underground or unnatural?
Any powerful
Is it considered
fiends
underground or
within that same radius.
I think it's like a cave.
I don't know
now.
how powerful
Right.
that is, but I guess that's up to you.
Okay.
You know,
And
we're
then
not actually like.
any
Underground, I know. It's
We're
a
at a
different plane
different
of
plane.
existence.
but
But it's not.
I guess any I'll do any people within 3 miles of us. Obviously, it's probably going to include us, but maybe it'll give some other people.
6 people.
What's the purpose of the bugs?
Not a person. They're fart bugs, dude.
That might be the answer we get for that one.
I'm now classically naming them fart bugs.
Okay, so you want to know towns or buildings?
Yeah,
or
town.
Okay, so it's just buildings, essentially.
Yeah.
You want to know if there's buildings
It'll
within
be
3 miles?
Yeah.
Powerful.
Powerful fiends.
So does it tell you powerful?
It says
fiends?
powerful.
So you
I don't
just
know if
pick
I have to
fiends.
choose
I
one.
think you have to choose. So
I
fiends
chose
is right over.
fiends. Yeah.
And then the third one you want to know is people.
Yep. People.
Prevalent peoples. Okay.
Yep.
So for the first one, for buildings, you detect, I don't know if it's the exact building.
I don't know if it even says
Structure?
Like, I don't know if it says the
It
location.
just seems like a discretionary.
Oh, it says
kind
you
of thing.
could determine the location of.
But it's not going to tell you, like, it's like a 2-story building with
Right,
this
no,
many
no, no.
windows, right?
Just
So
like
it's-
sort of a. I would guess it's like a general
Relative
direction.
The beacon is
There's-
now on your minivan.
you detect some sort of a structure
Look at your-
coming. So
Structure.
you don't really have direction,
Okay.
right? Like there's no north, there's no east, south,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
west. So we're just gonna say like you detect like that way
Okay,
that there's
yeah,
some
yeah.
form of a structure within 3 miles.
Yep.
Not actually sure how far exactly. And then for powerful fiends.
Yep.
There are a few that are just kind of like surrounding you in a way, not like on top of you, but just kind of like spread out in their own area.
Few in the surrounding area.
In regards to the kind of level of power, it's kind of
I would guess it probably doesn't.
yeah, it doesn't really. It's not going to give you much.
That's
And then the last one for people that don't detect anything,
got it.
Damn, we don't even exist, dog.
aside from you guys, obviously.
Right after 10 minutes. The area is brisk. There's a building some distance that way.
That would
Might
probably
as
be
well
our
make our way
first
to
stop.
it, yeah.
I
Nothing
don't,
else to
I don't know what else we can do. So
Yeah.
Well, we can't stay out here long.
there's powerful fiends in the area. So
That's
Do you know how far away it is? Or?
Nope. Yeah, no, it's within like a few miles.
I'm gonna pull out demons being like
did
doing
you
this.
gather anything
I'm
on
just
that
gonna
scroll?
load
Oh,
all the versions of the guns I have.
there's a big. We're looking for a big pyramid, guys. Like some big built structure comes to a point. There's like a giant crystal on top.
Ziggurat.
Sure. Underneath, I think, is the beacon. Just like the crystal funnels energy down into it or something.
Right. Okay, well I feel we should
So
walk.
keep your eye out for that. It may be in a different direction than where we're going, but it's a start.
And with that, everybody can Constitution saving throw again if I told you to. If you have covered your face, you can have advantage now.
And +2, because you're within 5 of
Oh,
me.
natural 19.
How does-
Hell yeah.
Oh, I guess I just get +4 then, wouldn't I?
30.
Because I get. I'm covering my face, and I have the amulet. +2
Oh,
for
do you
pain.
get stuff
So
for
do I get
covering
double
your
it?
face?
What?
Yeah,
Okay.
you do.
My face is covered. The amulet gives me advantage.
Okay. So yeah,
plus 2, and then I get plus 2 from him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
roll a fucking 4 real quick.
I don't really
29.
Success.
I don't really have anything, but I'm gonna cut some stuff off my bedroll to make the face mask.
Okay.
But I got a natural 19 anyway, so it's 25.
Did anyone fail?
Does armor
19.
have any effect on this?
Oh, is
It
it
says against spells and magical effects.
Or 20, I'm sorry.
Or what?
Magical deflection.
Oh, no. This one. For that.
It could be, yeah.
Do you
Right.
under a spell?
It's coming out of these bugs' asses, so I don't think it's very magical.
What'd you get, Andrew? Andrew, what'd you get?
20.
Okay. Andrew, you feel yourself kind of like
404 error across
like
my
really pushing out, like adjusting the mask.
Are you okay?
Definitely feel a little like ugh, but you're able to resist it.
Bro, I'm chilling. Sorry. Bro, I'm chilling.
It's a Andrew voice.
Alright, what do you guys do?
Just making sure you're not choking to death.
I'm gonna try to lead the way as best I can towards where I felt the building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marching order. I'll move all this shit later.
Probably me first.
I'll be behind him.
You don't have to be in a direct line as
Yeah.
well. It's just so everybody.
Well,
We could double
well, we should
file.
probably all group
We can
up like
walk in
around
the-
me.
We could walk in a 7-way line going forward.
Everyone should try to stay
How we
within
do it?
5 feet.
Figure out which way
where do you want
in
me?
the line.
I might skip.
Right here?
So we can rotate around really quick.
Tell me where you want to be.
You just
Middle of the pack.
We should always trim like that would be good.
That's right. Where you want to be.
If you don't hold, right?
Go right
Hey,
here.
what's a fucking carbon copy of Skip?
You just put me on the left side, Skip.
That's
Dude,
what
that's,
I know.
that's sick new mold.
Right here, Andrew.
I want to be in the middle of everyone.
Looks
Can't.
like
Yeah,
Skip.
Skip's in the middle of everyone.
Bro,
Yeah.
You're
smaller
by
than
me.
him.
I mean,
You can like step like right behind him. You're gonna be what, right under him the whole time?
Yeah, in between his
You
legs.
want to get on my shoulders?
No,
Okay.
poison gas gets more
Okay.
dangerous higher up.
I feel like if you were touching me.
You guys aren't like like marching in the same.
No.
You're just kind of generally in these positions as you guys are moving forward.
And you can be close to like their jaw.
I think I'm also taking it a little slower, probably just like watching my step, making sure I'm not
Actually, maybe it's a bad
one
idea.
messing with those like bug things, but also just not, walking into something stupid.
Well, yeah.
I would have since we rested, by the way.
Since you like first got into here, or
Just
just
like rested and
in
you know,
general?
like, we
Because it's
had
been
our
a
last
while.
sleep.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I mean it's.
I feel like most
So you went right into the lair. That was after leaving.
Fuck, we should have asked him for like a full
we hit
So-
before the succubus attack.
Can we sleep for
No,
8
you
hours
guys would've
first,
been
buddy?
leaving
Maybe that's a
Arcanoria,
magic
but you
thing
came
give us
from
some
Probably
this.
pretty tired.
Yeah,
After
so
3
you're-
flights anyway, but
You're
Yeah.
definitely tired and like wore down.
I feel
It's been
great.
at least a good 5 hours or so since you like actually woke up from your rest and went out and started like doing everything, like going to Tenebeth, going to Arcanoria, doing all of that shit, like teleporting around. You definitely feel drained. It's kind of gonna get at it, but like you can push on, but at some point you'll at least need to not full on like sleep and rest. And where you are right now doesn't really seem like a really great place to like
You
set
sleep.
up camp and sleep.
I'll go to bed.
So if the opportunity presents itself, maybe you find somewhere that you could possibly. But for the time
Yes.
being, everybody is. I mean, regardless of how much damage you took or what happened, you're tired. You're wore down. You've been teleporting, jumping around, getting hit and smacked, and all sorts of other nasty shit. And then now the air you're breathing in is just making it even that much worse. It's not like you're like comfortable relaxing in a spa. Like you just got out of a fight and you're now like you feel your guys' breaths are like.
What's
definitely
that
ask
mansion
him for
spell?
some water.
As we're walking,
kind of
I'll
thing.
pull
That's
off a
the seventh
shield.
level.
Just kind of have it on. Just kind of close my eyes and be like,
Switch
say,
your class, man. Stop
"Can
trolling
you
us.
hear me, Romeo?" Nothing.
You say it out loud.
I just asked if he can hear me. Yeah, I say it loud.
You don't hear anything.
I say it in my head.
You got it.
Make a religion check.
Okay.
It's at disadvantage because you sold your soul.
No!
You have hero points.
That's not gonna matter.
Also, at this point, you're gonna have advantage for some of these checks, so you can roll that with advantage.
Oh, thank you.
The metal one.
It mattered. Thank you. Religion. 21. Oh, yeah.
He's a religious guy now.
Was he not always?
Honey Mene, baby. I got you.
I hear you, champion.
Took a while.
This is Randiel, right?
I believe so. It doesn't seem to be a feminine voice. It's kind of like this strong
dude?
female voice.
All right.
Sorry if my feminine voice is
Perfect.
disguised.
Perfect. Do you know anything of what? I open. What's the guy that runs this place's name?
Ragda.
Ragda?
You mentioned
You know anything of
aloud.
Ragda?
He might have like an alert for every time somebody says his name.
He's here.
I am more of a warrior, not a scholar.
Well, I know. I thought you know.
It's like the NSA checking for
What I know of
NSA
him, though,
sort of
is
things.
knowledge the most. Putrid god,
Say Greg out loud. It's
poison,
like
disease, and
someone's
pestilence.
here.
Fought many of his plague bearers in the eradication and wars even before that.
Plague bear.
You ready to fight him?
Of course.
Most certainly.
Perfect.
Oh, this
In the name of Afiel, we shall slay.
I agree.
While we're walking,
It's good talk. I just
wanna
tap
keep
the top
my-
of the shield.
I'm just kind of like
put it in my back.
high alert the whole time, like kind of looking around, because he
Spoke
said there was
to,
like some
my
powerful
angel
enemies
friend.
around. So I'm like,
He knows about
I
as
ain't
much
trying
as
to
we
get
do.
the plague.
Got it.
Oh, fuck the plague, man.
I can get rid of it.
Transform dudes into a sword. Does it just look like a plain sword?
Jared,
Kinda
I can
looks
get
like
rid of it with
nice
5
and,
points.
And marble and everything?
Yeah,
Yep.
fancy.
Any disease or poison or
It's probably gonna be a long walk, so he's gonna be kind of like bored and just like.
I still ain't trying to catch
switching
the
in,
plague.
and then if he sees
Well,
one of the
you
things
catch
like
it,
crawl
I
out of
notice
the
that
ground,
you're
he's
going-
like trying to put
you're
like the sword and trying to get
instantly
like crawl on the
think
blade.
last time
You
that
know,
did
like do it like a bug or something.
No, it worked. Yeah, my
Alright.
land hands, it worked.
I say fuck it at this point. Use all the holy weapons you want.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
we're
going
holy
to.
weaponed out right now. The
We're here to
fuck?
kill. We're here to kill, man. Yeah, I am. So I can speak to my.
I'm pulling out
The
my
angel
holy
of my
hand.
shield?
Holy hand grenade.
And
holy hand grenade.
well, he says.
Worms Armageddon. Let's
You
go.
know, he doesn't really know
He's also
anything about.
thinking a lot about.
I was hoping
the fact
that he would
fair
know
exchange
more
for
about.
breakfast there now. Bolts in his head.
But at least we have an
Speaking
angel
to
to help fight us.
Wondering
fight with
what
us.
implications that has.
That's a plus. Well, yeah, I got
They're-
that
they're
magic
just
shield
talking.
that
They're
we're
bullies,
looking
you
at.
didn't know.
There's an angel in it.
Oh,
It's great.
nice.
Yeah.
We're proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of myself.
As you guys
I'm
are
terrified.
walking, some of you on high alert, others kind of stuck in their thoughts.
Definitely on high alert.
I'll have you make an insight check, Chelonia, for me, please.
Wow.
20.
Natural 20.
This
That's
guy's
like
fucking
floor
on.
today.
What's this guy on?
Floor today.
The new dice there? I'm
As
just
you guys
checking.
are walking,
Just making sure.
there
you go.
You're on.
But I don't have my fifth level.
For the most part, like everybody's looking around. Zarvarax is like has the axe like at his waist and is just like
Fuck, we should ask him about the.
like just whipping his head around, and then you'll like sheath it every now and then, and you think you hear something, you're like, and then you yank it out and look at it.
That's how I
and you
imagine
kind
it,
of
yeah.
set it back down.
Yeah,
You guys are also like, you know, especially Skip and Moldrak, your head is like up behind, like looking about. For you, you're kind of more like looking this way because there's people like directly behind you, so it's to like turn is just a little awkward. However, Chelonia, for a moment, you're like looking about, trying your best to see if you can see anything, but you're just kind of in this very zen state of just traveling and being with the group and playing your part
Just
to
vibing.
prevent the end of the world, essentially.
vibing.
His motto.
As you're looking up, though, you just get this like this sense, almost like this struggle is just emanating off of Azrael, and you've always detected it with him, that he has this just constant battle with his own soul. And now you can see that he, like, in the front of the group, standing right next to, you know, Skip, essentially, or Moldrak, he doesn't seem to be, like, looking out about. He just kind of, like, has his head down, is, like, messing with the weapon, and you can see that he's, like, very deep in thought and struggling internally with something, and it's not something that you've, like, actually heard him voiced or, like, spoken with him on. But maybe at some point, like at a rest or a downtime, like you feel like you may be able to speak with him and maybe put him at ease or understand more of what's going on to him. There's just something about him that, aside from everybody else, just kind of draws you to him just based on your abilities and the things that you're able to sense and detect. Like you sense that his soul is just kind of in this battle right now. And it's something that you've sensed before the contract was even signed. And it just seems to lately kind of just been ramping up more and more. As you're doing that, and you're looking about, everybody is doing the same. You travel for a good probably half hour to 40 minutes before you come upon a structure of some sort. It seems to be this large, somewhat of a, I don't want to really call it a pyramid. There's like there's 4 of these large pillars at the bottom, and then there's a under part that like you can walk beneath, but it seems to have like crumbled inward and like broken and fallen down. You can see scattered bones, remnants of some sort of random debris, whether it be like these metal beams, broken pieces of iron, these large like cages that are kind of bent and broken in. It just seems to be this large structure that once was here at some point. Doesn't look like the ziggurat. I'll throw that out to you. It just looks like some random kind of structure that has at some point or another kind of crumbled in. For you guys to do.
As we're outside, I again grab my holy symbol, but this time face it out like that.
Okay.
And I cast Divine Sense in front of me.
Okay.
And just get a feel if there's anything inside. You know, I'll walk closer to the door if I have to, and just get a feel of see if there's anything inside of there.
Okay. There's fiends.
There's fiends inside.
60 feet for sure.
I-
Your ring glows.
I stop and turn around and said, there are demons in here.
Fuck, who was I just about to get to? I can't remember.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. I had something and
Is it like still like a building, or is it like completely collapsed?
So it's for the most part collapsed. So there's like these four like large pillars that are probably a good 12 or so feet high, and then there's like these set of steps that are going up that are kind of crumbled and broken off in some spots, and the steps lead up to some sort of like temple-like structure, and then the side of it seems to have fallen in, and then even underneath seems to have broken off. So like one side of this seems to be completely kind of collapsed and crumbled, but those large pillars are still kind of standing, and there's some sort of like floor-type base to it at some degree.
So it provides some sort of shelter, maybe.
To a degree, yeah.
But there's fiends.
Yeah, but there's fiends.
Is it dark inside?
Yeah.
Do you know how many?
It's much darker like
Yeah, I
towards
do.
this
I do
than
know
there
how-
is
I do
like
know how many.
behind
Does
you.
it say that, or you just?
How many do I feel? Because it says I know the location of what Celestial's fiends, or
Oh, so you know the location.
Yeah.
As well.
within 60 feet.
Detect probably like 10 or so
69.
inside of the temple.
And it's about 10, 11. Nothing we can't handle. Hopefully.
You say
I can't say that
You say I
confidently.
think we can handle
No,
them, or nothing we can't
nothing
handle?
we can't.
I'm having
Oh,
terrible
okay.
flashbacks
I
of
would
the
also say that
exploding
we
goop
just
monsters.
shouldn't go around fighting everything we see.
Well, it's true, but we also
I know
need
you're
spell
getting a
to-
little like
Excited.
but we don't have to take fights we don't need to take.
What I'm saying, this is the first structure we've seen, and a lot of us
Where else are we gonna stay for
are
the-
hurt.
Where else are we gonna rest right now?
Precisely.
That's what I'm saying. We could just be like, hey, can we rest here?
That with my boys.
I
in
like
there?
that idea. And then, if it goes down,
They don't attack. We won't attack. It's that simple.
Maybe they hate Grabber too.
Holding
Maybe.
Demon Bay right now, so
I feel like
well,
they
he has
don't
no fear, so
mention
he's
that
just
part.
walking in.
Yeah.
if he's walking it, I'm going with him.
Yeah, Ezra starts making his way up the steps.
All right.
It's like forming into the
A pole.
it's like a rapier or scimitar.
A pole Ramiel.
That's what he's been using.
I have it to the side.
The steps themselves
Actually-
are probably only wide enough for like 2x2 to go up.
Put this
Well, yeah, like you can't like do 3 wide. You can only do 2 going up at a time.
The-
And then it gets to a point where the steps are broken off where like only one person's able to actually walk up.
How big is this like pyramid structure?
Like
Or-
wide, tall, like just
yeah,
the whole dimensions.
both
roughly?
wide and tall.
Okay, tall, maybe 30 or so feet. Like it doesn't seem to be too large. And then wide, maybe like pushing 80.
And as
The
far as
steps going up are probably only like
as far
15
as
feet at most.
pyramid goes, is it smooth or is it block, level, block, level,
as
block?
It's kind of a mix of both. It seems like it's kind of blocky just because a lot of shit has broken off of it. But for the most part, it seems to be a decent enough structure. Like it's not like really immaculately made with like great architecture, but it's how you would imagine some sort of like demon hovel to be. Like it's not great, but it's functional.
Instead of going in, I am going to follow them up the steps, but then I'm going to climb up
Okay.
to the top and see if I can see anything from up there.
Got it.
That's my first thought.
Let me know when we're about to cross the door.
All right, is everybody just walking up? Or are we like slowly going up? How are we doing this?
How do you want to do this?
Slowing down.
Okay.
Not slowing down?
I don't have fear of demons.
Neither do I. I'm pushing with him.
All right.
I'm just standing
Just the thing.
last in row,
Like a sound
kind
when it
of
changes. So it kind of might
looking around.
Fuck are we doing?
Yeah, it's got like a light hum to it.
I don't wanna get,
like
like-
it doesn't do like gear sounds
Yeah.
or anything. It just kind of makes like this.
ambushed. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Getting ambushed while I'm
I'm
outside.
worried about losing my soul. I don't know.
But as we,
Just
let me
keep
know when we
running.
get to the crest of the door.
You are there. How would you like to do?
I'm down to die to him if like
Pull the sword
that
out, put it
happens,
in.
but, like,
Okay.
And just kind of like look.
yeah, I don't want to just.
Pulling the sword and kind of reaching it in, you can see like where it's crumbled. There's a bunch of rocks. You see
Would feel
Moldrex start
stupid
climbing up
fighting.
the top.
Figure it out real quick.
Where it has kind of crumbled on this side, and the rocks caved in. It doesn't appear that there's like any sort of structure there anymore, but it looks like. So essentially, imagine like if we took this ceiling and just like cut it down the middle, and then took this whole part of the house away. Like
Oh,
that's what you're kind
yeah.
of looking in. So like you can see in this way, but this part is just kind of like broken off, and you can actually see like towards the terrain and everything. But this part still seems to be intact to some degree. You can see a huge piece of rock that may have like crumbled and broken off is like sitting jammed up against underneath like where the ceiling is kind of sitting on. It's not still like perfectly straight. It's kind of like leaning on some sort of like a canter against some rocks and boulders that are like holding it up. But for the most part, it is pretty open, and you can see as you like put the light into there. Some sort of creature, like when you lift the light, it's probably only about yay long, looks like a lizard of some sort, and it has like a bunch of green spikes on its back, just quickly like
that one of
scurries
the fiends?
into the, how long does the Divine Sense last?
Like a minute, I think.
Is it immediate, or?
It doesn't say
So not just
until the end of my next turn. That's the
Oh,
only
so it's just like a
immediate.
wave.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you're
Okay.
not sure, but it could be. But it just kind of scurries into the,
I look at that real. You think that's our demon? Did I sense it here? Probably. I'm not sure what a demon is.
as for everybody else, these two started walking up as everybody else. You're crawling up, I know you are.
I'm going to clear the rest of it.
I'm like slowly going up, contemplating whether I actually want to fight anything.
I walk right in.
My back.
And the sword, but the blade of the sword is laying against my arm. Like this, kind of using it as like a reflective type deal. Going like that.
Two of you make dexterity saves for me really quick.
Yeah,
Not again.
+2.
As you fall into a pit of spikes under you and you die and your soul gets taken to
28.
Dixia.
Not as good. 10.
Not as
Okay.
good.
You step in like on the left side a little bit of that kind of entryway, so like I mentioned, this is just cut off. All this part of the house is gone, but you can still like see in here, and there's still some structure to it. But it's pitch black, and Skip's kind of like on your right, and he's shining the light in, and you walk kind of over against like that left side of the door jamb into the interior. You just kind of immediately step across, and you feel the ground kind of crumble and break a little bit, and you go to like reach up and grab. Is there anybody like immediately behind him there?
Instantly say, "Oh fuck!"
I mean, I'll try and grab him.
Who the fuck's grabbing
Make
him?
a-
He's
make a
like
strength save.
600 pounds.
I'm,
650.
I would have followed right behind.
Yeah, I'm
you.
650.
It's alright.
I'm standing outside at the bottom of the steps.
Yeah.
22.
Okay.
Fucking swole turtle, dude.
With
Watch it.
you reaching over, like you go to reach and grab Skip, and you feel like when you grab his wrist and you're like holding, like he almost like yanks you down. But then you see Chelonia like kind of, he's not like super quick, but he's at least nimble enough. Reaches down and grabs
That's
like
kinda
the back part
disrespectful,
of
honestly.
like your armor.
I'm getting
like,
scruffed
reaches
like a
down
puppy.
and is holding, and then you feel
Sweet teeth are
Chelonia like reaching back. Is like slowly falling, and Zarvrex reaches his hand and
I was
like
about to
grabs
scream
onto
Zarvrex.
Chelonia.
All right, get
Lucky.
the
And then
get in there,
start
whip his
like
ass.
pulling up. At that point, Skip gets to a part, and as you're reaching up and you put your hand on some of the stone, you like pull and it falls down, and you can feel it's like a little unsturdy. It's almost like ice, like it kind of
This
just
is
like
bullshit!
keeps breaking in some spots.
Quick,
But you
does
eventually
Zarvrex
get-
have a tail?
No.
What's that? No.
Damn, I was gonna behold this tail.
Okay.
It gets to a point though where you find purchase on something, and then Chelonia kind of helps you up and over.
I decided
Get
against
up.
the tail.
Damn.
Appreciate it, friends.
Ruining my comedic relief
I
here.
jump back up, flip the sword back around, and use it as light.
Okay. Make a perception check for me, Moldred.
24.
Okay, so Much like I said, like you can see one half of it's just gone, broken, crumbled down to the ground. The pillars on that side still stand, but where you can see now, like as you get up and everybody's started making their way up onto the steps, at this point you see Ander and Connor at the back are making their way in, and you can see a little bit of light emanating like back outward from where they have entered inside, but you can't really see any holes or anything on the top where you can like see into and like try to recon and see if there's something moving around. At the top part of the structure, there's a couple of spots where it's like these sort of, I guess, rooms that are up there, but they seem to be empty and like kind of broken away. There's no ceiling or anything to them. It's just kind of like walls that are there, and the ceiling's kind of crumbled and broken off. You do see, like next to where you are, some sort of very, very large like gash that's inside of the stone itself, almost like something like really heavy hit it. Tool, other monster, whatever the hell it could be. It's hard to make out what it is, but it's like this large like gash that kind of goes across it.
Do I get any idea of like, is it old or new?
Old, very old.
Old? Okay.
Yeah. Much like the stone on the structures, everything just kind of seems very old.
Okay.
Did you raise your hand?
Yeah. Is the gas in this room?
There is gas. I actually was going to have. That's what I was going to do. Thank you for reminding me. Everybody needs to make another con save. This would have been on your walk to here.
Okay.
+2.
Natural 20.
Hey.
17.
The air you're breathing out is like purified.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
17.
That's the third one I rolled
17?
today.
Oh.
I hear dice.
Ander.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's with the +2?
It's gonna be like the
I got
plague
plus
thing all
4,
over
buddy.
again.
I got +4, buddy. Buddy. It still wasn't enough, buddy.
Hey, bud.
Buddy.
It's actually +7, buddy.
Better fucking watch your tone, bud.
No. Same, bud.
Uh-oh, he's pulling out a thing.
Well, I thought he was going
Bro,
to...
just say I'm poisoned. I got disadvantage. There's a whole condition
It's a
for this.
different
You
condition.
have disadvantage on charisma checks.
Is this...
Do I notice him?
You have this the plague.
Plague point.
Oh,
No.
do I notice him looking a little?
I ain't got much dick to go around, man.
Immediately right now, I'd say no.
No.
Yeah,
It wasn't
plagues
really-
didn't really start showing until like 3
Yeah,
or
you
4.
don't
Yeah,
really
right.
notice
I was at like 3 points, and that's when it
What was
became
it that was
noticeable.
19.
You have a play point.
No.
25.
So you just have disadvantage on charisma checks right now. You feel a little warm and you're
Minus 1 on
you're
charisma
just
checks
kind
anyway.
of coughing.
You're like, I
I
can
will
sleep.
grab psychometry now that I'm in kind of like more inside the structure.
Go ahead and make a history check.
It was we said 10 from my pool heal plague point, didn't it? Instead of the 5.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
22.
Yeah.
22. Okay.
I
As
noticed
as the grim psychometry starts to like come through, it's almost like lifting, almost like this
I don't have a
veil
prepared
from the
though.
bottom up of your vision, and you can
Oh, I
see
don't have
almost like
greater
this
restoration,
building's
no.
like rebuilding itself, and gets to a point where it's this pointed kind of
I have
structure.
lesser, and I have
You
revivify.
can't see very well in the interior, but you can see that there are a lot of these weapon racks along the edges. There are cages that are randomly spread throughout here that you can see have creatures inside of them. Many of them look like these hyena-type creatures with these huge pustules on their back, and they're like inside and like grabbing the cage and like shaking and rattling it. And then you can see something with this like large, almost like cattle prod is like shocking into it, and then you watch them kind of like subdue and fall to the ground. And the creatures that are like reaching the cattle prods are those plague bearers that you guys saw before. The kind of green, sickly skin, like holes potched inside of them. Their bulbous bellies, these pustules all over them, horns randomly. You know, like
things
these
that
long,
exploded
sickly,
when they died?
These long,
Oh,
sickly
no.
green blades that they're like kind of slowly walking about, and they're just all they don't have a ton of organized direction to them, but each of them seems to be doing something, and this seems to be some sort of area where a lot of them were, and some sort of base of operations for things that were going on. Once you come out of the grim psychometry, you can look around and you see on the ground a couple of those blades, pieces of metal that are kind of burnt, or like not burnt, but almost melted in some spots and kind of over to the side, like broken off. And then you can see as you guys start to walk forward a little more, and Skip is holding up this light, there is a cage in the middle part here where you can see the corner of it has this huge part where it almost looks like an acid burn, just like melted part of it, and it fell off onto the ground there.
What if this was the one that was connecting the Hag's portal?
This is.
Yeah? Well, Well, I know this is the plane, but I'm saying, what if this is like the ziggurat that was connecting it? Don't they have to have a connection for each portal?
This place looks like some sort of staging area or armory.
On top still.
You said there was still like the poison in here?
Yeah.
It's in here. Yeah, it's not any less.
I look down the hole I almost just fell through. Did I see the bottom of it?
It's only like 10 or so feet down, so yeah, like as you're lifting the light.
Fine.
This would have been before you guys got to this point.
I would have been perfectly
like,
fine.
As you're looking, it's like it's like
No.
I mean it's far enough to where you'd at least take like a bit of damage from smacking the ground, like falling back this way. Like you're not gonna Spider-Man land on the ground, especially from like falling this way. But looking down that spot, there are a couple of cages, random weapon racks that are like broken and split up, random chunks of iron and steel that are all spread out down there as well, and then the stone, the crumble around and stuff. But now you guys are at the point where you're inside. There's a brief bit of light behind you. It's not like sunlight's coming in and it's like easy to find. Like as you're looking around, it's hard to differentiate between the darkness and this bit of green kind of emanating light from the outside. At that point, if you wanted to make your way down, you most definitely could.
I step back from home and turn around and say, well, there's a basement to this place. There's more cages and weapons and things down there. I wonder if we could find a way to get down there.
Is it possible to tell just from what I saw this place used to be and kind of what it looks like now on the outside if the damage was caused by like an attack from something large? Does it look kind of like almost like a slice and then just like debris and everything from it, or?
I say based on what you know, your best bet, just like looking at everything, it just seems to have come to ruin at some point or another. The only thing that's really catching your kind of attention are the cages inside of here with these large kind of ash burns on them. But aside from that, not really too sure.
I don't know anything enough about demons that reside here to know if anything would cause even this kind of acidic damage.
If you want to make a intelligence check to your repertoire of knowledge for demons that are like acid based.
What did the mark I saw look like?
19.
Was it like a slash or
Some sort of deep gouge in the stone. You could see like one point where it's a little deeper, it kind of eases up, and then another deep point.
Got 19.
19? Okay. Your first encounter with the plague bears was wait.
He didn't have the.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, you weren't there. So you really don't have any sort of
Let us
exposure
enlighten
for
you
the
on
most
demons
part.
here.
Plague bears were in the
Yeah.
eradication.
What's that?
Plague bears were in the eradication.
Then yes. Thank you. Yes. you
Never
would have
mind
that
about
encounter there.
enlightening you.
Um,
Enlighten us.
You know of
Let us tell you about
a
eggs.
few like random things, but nothing really
They suck.
strong enough to cause this sort of damage, even to the cages, let alone taking down this whole building. Which honestly, it doesn't scare you, but it kind of puts you on edge a little bit. Like fuck, like I'm a little out of my element here, but
I'll be scared anyway.
yeah.
All the demons, man.
Okay.
I saw on the
Not a
outside
bad
of
thing.
this building some large, looks like a I don't know, maybe a cut or some sort of mark from the tool. Looked like a large gouge.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any creature that could do this damage. At least that I've encountered. Or why it would.
I think there's anywhere in here where we could maybe avoid some of this smog in the air.
There's a basement.
We
I
find
did
a-
almost fall through, though.
We find like an area with a room. Do you know wind magic?
I can do some more powerful magic if I can rest.
Maybe we could
I can do really simple wind magic. Like
ventilate the room and then put some coverage over a doorway.
Everybody make another Constitution save.
No.
Let's do.
The one from before that I had you make would
I
have been
rolled
like
2
20
and a
minutes prior
19.
to this. So this one's just real.
It's great now not having to roll for poison, isn't it?
Fucking see this shit?
Bro, what the? You're using it up, man.
Did you just get another 20?
I
You
rolled
got
2
two
natural
20s and a
20s and a 19.
Oh, I love it.
Guys,
It's like you
cheating.
have to warm up.
21.
You warm your arm.
I'm just going to come over a half hour early every day and just
20.
Yeah,
roll.
just get it.
Okay.
Can I sense that Anders got the plague at all?
No.
No, not yet.
No,
I
they're
don't
just
even
kind
know I
of
have the
they're
plague.
coughing maybe a little more than everybody else, but everybody else is still like even you like I said, you're clearing your throat every now and then.
Oh,
So
so
they don't have any
talking
sort
to
of
him is
visible
gonna sound
signs or
dumb.
anything that would.
Could I use the cleanse soul? Is it poison or disease?
It is technically a disease.
So my cleanse soul wouldn't wouldn't
Diseased.
work because
If
it's
you're
poison, paralyzed, blinded, deafened, lesser curses, and at your discretion.
The game was great.
I'd say that you could use it. It just gets rid of like 1 point, but at this point, like I said, you don't know.
No,
that.
right.
But when the time comes, if you were to use it, like each time you use it, because this type of disease like kind of tiers down,
Progressive.
goes from like 1 to 10, and then like each time you would use it, I'd say like you would get rid of a point, similar to how Skip's lay on hands would work. When he does it, he gets rid of a point. It gets worse.
It goes to 10?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it went to like 5.
10 is like black death.
It gets bad.
Yeah, it literally just says death with like 8 dots after it.
I think 9 is what you're like unconscious or something.
You're just incapacitated at all
Yeah.
times.
incapacitated.
It was nasty.
You're
Who
pretty
got
much dead already.
I
who got
remember
really far in
me.
the plague points? That was you.
They kept
I had to
blowing
sit
up.
there for a
I
day.
got to like, I thought it was only 3, but it was probably like 6 or something.
Yeah,
because
you
the
were
relevant
far.
on the scale was bad.
Wait, who has to make checks? For
I just sleep for like 5 days.
All of us besides those two, I'm pretty sure.
Everyone except for the healers.
Alright,
Do I have some
Fucking
sort of
heal
natural
them.
resistance due to overcoming the plague in the past?
You do not gain some.
I've got
You don't
immunity.
have antibodies or anything. It's just-
My white blood cells
I knew
work
we should have
harder.
made a vaccine for it.
Unfortunately, they do not.
Would everybody have taken it though?
Okay,
Zaxria insurance.
right now, Skip has the sword out and is giving light to the room. Like I said, everything I just described, the cage in front of you, weapon racks broken around, the sword itself on the ground, randomly spread out. You guys to do as you wish.
A magnet.
I'm gonna.
Stick down, venture
It's only for 1 hour, but I'm gonna use one of my 4th level slots to do enhance ability for Constitution.
Okay.
To give people advantage on the save. I'm gonna do Azrael, because I get it on 3 people.
I already get advantage.
Azrael,
I would say Ander.
Ander, and Connor.
Okay. Sounds good.
Can you tell if those fiends are in the exact same location when you did it?
I can-
when it came up.
I can do it again. I grab my holy symbol, turn it backwards like that again, close my eyes, and cast Divine Sense.
Okay. You still detect the like 10 or so, and they just kind of seem to be in the general direction of like you moving inward more.
So-
you can't really gauge like up or down. It's more of just like this emanating.
It says I know the
kind of-
location.
Yes, the location is that way. They're like about this much.
Okay.
It's like it's not like this.
It's about that.
It's not that
so
you're
it's that
detecting it
general
like this.
vicinity.
Yeah,
in
you're
front
not
of me.
detecting it like this. It's kind of like this aura of energy
Right.
that you're
Do I have
sensing
any
in
of that
direction.
below me?
It's resonating like wide enough to where it's top to bottom.
Oh. Well, they're all that way. That's all I can tell you. And there's still about 10 of them here, and it's like, in the way it works is it's a whole area.
Start walking.
It's strange. Okay, we're going. And I follow behind him.
Right behind these guys.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to be next to him in case we have anything so I can
Kinda
jump out in
fucked
front.
with
Your
the-
ring that was
push it
glowing out front
and just,
is not
wall
glowing now.
everything off.
I think we kind of have to do that.
I think we could. I don't know how deep we have to go.
Same marching order? Besides Moldrack?
I would say me and him are
Yeah, I'll
dead
be
in
right
front.
behind Azrael.
Yeah,
But other than that,
I'm just chilling. I'm somewhere.
It's weird. It looks like the same person, just different color.
Uh,
And one has a hammer and a tail.
They're completely different.
I don't know, man.
You just described like
Fuck-
5
fuck like
differences.
And he's got fur instead of metal, and
It's the same person.
He's
to
got
me.
a helmet instead of just his head.
Yeah.
I'm also having a silver armor.
Okay.
It's green and gray.
You guys start making your way through. You get to a point where the the lower level is widening up more to where you actually get this area where, excuse me, you're in deep enough now to where the only time you can really see is when you are using the light to kind of push it outward. I wouldn't say it's like magical darkness, but it's not natural darkness. It's just a little bit extra. It's not like some sort of magical effect is taking some sort of hold over here. It's just that it's so pitch black in here, and there's no cracks of light coming through, and there's no natural light outside that's giving any sort of illumination in here in any regard, to the point where
sure
you
there's
are
no
just,
cracks in here?
No. Everything looks to be very solid and built
Block
well.
everything off, fuck it.
The smoke at this point seems to have eased up a bit. It's still there, like you're breathing and it's uncomfortable, but it just doesn't seem to have been like pushed in here quite as much. But then there's also like pockets that you hit and get to where it seems like it's just kind of collected and there's nothing like forcing it or moving it around, and it's almost like you feel it. You can smell that like putrid, almost sulfurous kind of scent, and you go to like waft it out of your face, and it causes you to kind of cough and almost feel like you're going to throw up, especially for Moldrak and Ander. Through your coughing fits, you can hear it echoing throughout, and then as it kind of silences, you just hear.
Does this sound familiar?
Yep.
Oh.
It's the plague bears, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and they
these
give
guys
you a
ex-
point of plague
These
when
guys
they explode.
when you kill them?
Fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not just the plague.
You start to hear like this like scraping of metal against like the ground.
Can I see with the light in front of
We
me?
kind of.
No, but you can like you have the light out and you can hear in the darkness, but you can't see.
cages.
Oh, they might be.
But you can hear it coming from that direction.
I just do like
At this point, your range.
I
is light up.
I grab my holy symbol and I slam it to my chest and I cast Shield of Faith on myself.
The light again that Skip is holding out is giving light probably like a good 30 or so feet out, and you can only hear the noise and you hear the scraping of the blade against the stone. You can hear this like off kilter
You
kind of
hear-
like.
Blade to stone? No, he's not in the cage.
Like their footsteps aren't coordinated. It's not like they're stepping straight. There's just kind of like this wobbling, almost like.
I I step out a little farther than everybody else.
Skip keeps kind of like edging
Put us
in
like a
more and
ball of
more.
stone.
The light is slowly pushing outward. The sounds of the stone scraping are getting a little louder. The groans are getting kind of like a.
Oh. I'm gonna bonus action use my my charge for the fire one, where I just give everybody like a wisp of light.
Okay.
It's so everybody has like a wisp like fire orb that just kind of floats above, and you get shed. You can have it. You choose shed up to or from 5 feet of dim light to 20 feet of bright light.
So as we're standing there, kind of.
Is everybody doing 20 feet of bright light? Okay, just making
It's
sure.
20 yet.
I
As
had mine
soon
on
as
dark
I
mode,
see
sorry.
like toe of
I ain't
how do
never
show
turned
this?
anything on light mode, you crazy.
Am I aware of any information about if there's a way to kill the plague bears from the eradication that won't make them explode?
No.
Anybody did
You definitely remember a lot of people on the front lines kind of just having to sacrifice themselves to it because it's just almost unavoidable in a way. But being at that range, like the distance was what you had the most advantage with, was like trying to make sure you killed them away from them. You know what I mean?
He's already sudden death.
Like, strike their legs, back off.
10 of them
and
this
then-
side.
Antibiotics.
So
and
you're
you-
fucking-
The biggest strategy that there was trying to take as many of them out from a distance as possible.
That's fine.
When
Skip
he did-
can't get
Your
When he-
your ways of trying to accomplish that are entirely.
When he divine sense, was it
No,
still 10 or was it 9?
I'm immune to disease and
So the
poison.
lizard didn't count. Fuck this stupid ass lizard.
Same.
Well, with that knowledge,
War for it, baby. I don't have
starts to
blood.
walk
You say you're
around,
immune to poison?
switching
Just
the
let him in
there,
seals,
bitch.
back
I'm about to.
revolving,
Don't worry.
They also
I'm gonna do something pretty cool.
They also explode and do a bunch of damage, but
Okay, so
too crazy.
everybody now has
I'm
these
waiting.
wisps of fire on them.
Yeah, well, I'm letting Skip walk.
Skip at this
He
point
can lose his soul. I ain't fucking with that.
with no sort of fear or hesitation in his face. Has the shield and is holding it out. Has the sword and is holding that forward. The bright light kind of on your... Okay, you're just kind of like holding it down, and then the sword, you're up this way. So he's kind of walking forward. Takes like these very calculated, like one step after another. He's not like creeping forward, it's just like one step, stands, brief scan, another 2 steps maybe, scan. You can see the light slowly encroaching outward more and more. You hear the groans kind of, and then the blades scraping against the stone. You hear it kind of pick up, and then it gets silent.
I grab the shield, I slide my hand out from out of the shield, and I grab it by the edge. And I'm just sitting there. I grab the shield by the edge, and I take it. I said, Ramiel, help us in a time of need. And I throw it out. And I grab my sword two-handed, and I fucking charge him.
He's really trying to fight them. They just wanted a cure.
The shield itself, as he chucks it out and you hear him scream for Ramiel,
Please
there's this
all be in
huge,
cages.
bright yellow light that emanates outward, and as it does, the angel falls down before you,
I figured we're
and
gonna
the
rest
wings
soon.
burst outward in this bright yellow light. He himself has this huge longsword and then starts to like look and scan out and sees Skip charging forward. And as Skip's charging forward from where it went kind of silent, as he charges forward as fast as he can, he gets into this area where he's just kind of like standing out, probably like a good distance this way in front of you guys. And you can see him out there, and then all of that kind of light around him. And then Ramiel is like flying in behind and sits right behind Skip and kind of lands back there. And then you watch all at once this just kind of like step of all of these plague bearers around begin to surround Skip in a way to where there's like here, and then they all just kind of like, and then you watch Ramiel kind of like take the sword over to one, and then Skip jumps towards the one in front of him, and then you guys are like fuck and start like charging forward.
No, fuck, ain't.
And
No, ain't
fuck
no
you.
charging forward.
that
Calm
is
down.
where we are going to pick it up
Fuck
next
you.
week. Thank you for watching. If you were,
Sorry,
make
he's
sure
got
you're
375 hit
following, so you get
points.
put in the giveaway. We're like 3/4 of the way there, so you're like a pretty good chance if you start following now.
I shit my pants, dude. That's
If you're
not good.
subscribing at that point, you get put in for a giveaway for a custom made from
the
Hero
shield
Forge.
just
So
kinda,
make
like,
sure you check out
goes
all the
in there.
YouTube stuff. There's VODs, podcasts, all sorts of good stuff on there.
Till the day.
Thank you.
And
Be
then he's
safe.
back. Yeah.